welcome to what is presumably going to be the boss battle thing, unless you guys decide to throw me off. Um, so as a very brief recap, again, we've done enough of these now that I'm not recapping everything. You've been making your way through the forest around the Einsburn castle to stop a giant tree that's been draining the area of mana. It was left by some attacker who pieced out after pretty much wiping out all the Einzbern save one homunculus that you were actually in the area to help out with a potion that you made. Um, she's sort of approached a lot of you to help get rid of this tree, and you devised a plan to go around to the different ley lines feeding into the castle itself, where the tree is drawing all of its life from, and you've systematically redirected all of them away from it, so you've cut it off from the source. This will hopefully make it a bit easier to take on. The first one you redirected, and in the process you put out an all call for help from the local phantasmal species and wildlife, so hopefully that'll pay off somehow. The second one you redirected into the lake so that it could actually spread mana throughout the region and maybe aid in the recovery from the essential blight that's taken over the area since the tree first arrived. And the third one you sort of spread off in a variety of different directions because it was being taxed by essentially a haunted area that you later discerned through a crazy vision adventure. Was once a small town located near the castle literally over 1,000 years ago. And in the process of realigning that one, Anise saw visions of the creation of the Justice homunculus that the Einzberns have been trying to replicate and perfect since then, in their pursuit of the third magic, and presumably that eventually led to the Holy Grail War system. And Penelope saw visions of some kind of ghost or specter spirit looking down on the fourth or the fifth Holy Grail War's berserker servant and his master. And following that, once you wrapped all of that up, you took a rest for the night on top of a big old rock. That was presumably pretty safe, and it turned out it was. And then when you were waking up in the morning, some of you a little bit faster than others, the tiny bird that you befriended when you first arrived in the forest proceeded to crawl down into the cracks of the big rock that you were on and took a stuffed bear that originally belonged to Ilyasviel von Einzbern and flew off towards the castle, and was then immediately followed by some kind of scary shadow thing that crawled out after it. Acknowledging that you've probably got a little bit of time because it's not like you can catch up to a flying thing anyway, you took the rest of your moment to eat and then get ready to head up. Does that about sum everything up? Am I missing anything?
I can't remember anything important that you didn't mention.
Awesome. Yeah, it was kind of the info dump episode, so now we're back to the go and do stuff episode.
Woo!
Like every Fate thing has one moment where people are just spewing a bunch of exposition and walking in circles around each other, and now we've done that. So, hurrah.
So yeah, we found out about the Einsburn lady that made bad choices, and
It's true. Yeah, you found out that the Einsburn lady who is ultimately responsible for the creation of Justice did it by accident, presumably. She couldn't be replicated, and also a lot of her life choices seemed to be influenced by some sort of voice that was creeping into her head, and then net result was the Einsburns themselves all sort of going depressed and crazy after essentially killing everyone in the nearby village in pursuit of repeating the success. The last thing that you saw there was the woman who'd created Justice losing her daughter, and the year that it took Justice to actually accomplish Heaven's Feel. So you don't really know what happened after that. Your vision kind of faded out. But you do know that the Einsburns have been essentially under the command of a golem since about that point in time, and that your goal now is to run off this tree and presumably get the Einsburn estate back up and running if at all possible. So, yeah. Cool. So, yeah, here we are. I'm not going to bother sharing that map from before because you're going to the castle, I assume. That sound right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so go ahead and jump into that, and I'm going to ask the question of how do you want to go to the castle? So from the vision that you saw in the fireplace, there was obviously a main entrance at the front. You could actually see it a little bit from when you were at the lake. And there were other ways to get there from the side that you're on right now, which would probably involve a bit more of the spider climb type options if you want to come in from the other side. That'll essentially just determine which chunk of the map I drop you on first.
Hmm.
Can't spider.
It's hard to know if we're going to be able to take this tree by surprise in any way.
Right. Do you want to roll... I guess in the case of this one, it would probably be nature. You could roll nature or arcana to try to suss out what you can expect out of this tree. Because, like, you did know what it was early on. Like, you passed that roll. So, like, this is just qualifying what you can think of it. Might
I'm
help you
rolling.
with your strategizing.
Ooh.
That's a good start. Good start for the night. Okay. So you've never encountered one of these trees before, but you have heard enough about other large, like, living sentient trees. And one of the commonalities among them is that they typically can't see. They more feel the world around them through their branches, their roots, and the ground itself. So it's not so much that you can sneak up on it from one side or the other. It's more a matter of they tend to know things are nearby when they're close. So there's no real front or back as far as they're concerned. But it also means that, like, they're pretty much blind to you if you're not on the ground or within their reach.
I guess going the way that doesn't involve spider climb would be easier.
Yeah, like if you were trying to conserve your resources, just going in through the front would probably be the easiest. Because, like, you know the door was torn open. Like, that's not closed. You just walk right in. Versus having to, like, climb up the side of a cliff. You've obviously got time. Like, you're going to be walking back one way or another anyway. And, like, you're not going to catch up to the bird. So hopefully the bird took care of itself.
Hopefully.
It's got that whole HP.
A whole 1 HP.
One singular H.
If Berserker catches up to it, there won't even be a corpse. There'll just be some feathers.
Just a couple of feathers on the ground.
Oh boy.
Yeah. But yeah, if it helps you to visualize, here's a cute little illustration of the castle.
Where is that one tree where the tree would be?
The tree is in that courtyard, but it's much bigger than this. It is in that area, though. You saw that in the fireplace. Essentially, the way that it's set up, you have the lower courtyard, which is where the main entrance is at the front. That leads into, like, the actual lower courtyard, which has stairs up on the side to the left. And then you have the upper courtyard, which is where the tree is and where, like, Oct was destroyed and all that. And then from there, like, the main castle is behind that, and it goes up about 6 floors, plus some towers. To the right of that courtyard is likewise like a structure, like it's a few floors. To the left is a smaller one, and then you can't see it in the picture, but right next to that tree and going forward, that's just a wall. There's not, like, anything inside there. So, like, to the example before, if you were using spider climb, you could just run right up that wall if you wanted to come in on the side. You could go in the main door at the front. You could make your way up through the main castle itself if you went in through the back and you just went into the castle. Really just a matter of what angle you want to approach this from.
Where was the tree again?
Where was the tree?
Yeah.
Yeah, the tree is... You see the little tree in the middle?
Yeah.
It's next to that, but it's just huge.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And I don't see a reason not to go in from the front.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're not going to be able to get like a surprise ambush on this tree because once we get close enough to it, it'll just know we're there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Like, I can attack from a distance. I don't know about Penelope.
No.
Kwaku was throwing ice knives and stuff, so like getting up on a wall to have a height advantage on it is probably not going to be all that effective either.
Yeah, it's sort of one of those things where the distance you would be attacking from is probably not great if you're up on the wall. But on the same note, like, it's a pretty big tree. So if you're using, like, to meta it slightly, if you're using range increments, you're probably going to hit it. Like, it's big. I know that 5e doesn't really penalize bigger things as being easier to hit, but realistically, when you're actually throwing a knife at the broadside of a barn, it's kind of hard to miss. But yeah, the approach is up to you. So you guys want to go with the front? I will pull up the front. Is there anything you want to do before you go there?
Yeah. Before we leave, I'm gonna play a song and give us inspiration later because I have a sneaky suspicion that once they get in the building, there's a fucking tree. That's not gonna be the best time to start singing.
Mark down that I have inspiration.
Okay, how long does that last?
Good question. I should have checked that first. Hold on.
I feel like it lasts for a little
I
I
while.
think it's like 10 minutes or something. But
Go ahead.
We'll just say that we're
like, you can just say you're doing it before you go in. Like,
Yeah.
trees don't have ears, so
That's true. Okay.
you probably don't have to worry too much about that either. Like, they're mainly just sensing things by touch and by, vibrations in the ground.
True. Okay, well then, I'm preemptively saying that I'm going to
Sure.
do that.
That is
Yeah.
totally fair.
I don't think I have anything that I want, so I should need to cast ahead of
Okay. In that case, I will...
Wait.
Oh?
I'm doing ability. Okay. So I can do enhance ability and give Penelope, so you can choose between Bear's Endurance, which gives you advantage on con check, Bull's Strength, which gives you advantage on strength checks, Cat's Grace, which gives you advantage on dex, equals Splendor, which is charisma, Fox's Cunning, which is intelligence, Owl's Wisdom, which is wisdom. Yeah. I could also, I could give it to myself instead, but I'm being nice.
Gonna be strong.
Okay, so you want Bull's Strength?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to cast ability. Oh, I guess I need the combat track.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I think all of you are still on the combat tracker from when we did the rest.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try something with the tractor
Sure.
chuck. Gonna let me chuck Bardic.
No, that was
Oh, no.
definitely...
Wait, yeah, never mind.
That
Ignore
was
it.
the thing I had to toggle on my sheet. That's concentration, the Bull Strength. And let me take one more look at it. Target gains the effect until the spell ends, so it can be for up to an hour, as long as I keep concentration on it. So all of your strength checks will have advantage.
Yeah.
So long as I don't get hit, or if I get hit, I'll have to roll to make sure I keep the concentration.
Just be a con save, yeah.
Yeah, and then as long
You're
as
kind
I
of
don't...
at the weird point in the game where most things that hit you hard enough to make you lose concentration also just knock you out.
True.
So it's not quite the drawback it normally is.
And then I can't, like, if I cast Spider Climb, I have to drop the concentration.
Right. Okay, well, I will go ahead and I'm going to share the outside of it.
If I cast Flaming Sphere, that's also...
All right.
Man, I don't have concentration.
Get you a map. All right. Let me make sure everyone can see it. So there you go. That's the outside from the front. So as you're walking up towards the castle from, your backtracking from before, you can see the lake off. We're just going to treat this as like north is top, even though that's not really it, just for simplicity. So off in the north direction from this, you can see the lake. You can see a lot of the water down that way. There's a bit of a cliff face to the south, which is the way that you just sort of doubled back around. So pretty much if you go outside the top or bottom bounds, it's a bit of a drop. Just a matter of whether you're dropping to water or dropping to rock. There's that. So another thing that you can see on this map are there these sort of red spots throughout. That represents ground that has roots poking up out of it.
Oh, wow.
These are some pretty big tree roots. Like, they're not like solid. That's just like sort of representing areas that have a lot of them. This thing has definitely been pulling in the whole local area. So they're all over the place. It's not difficult terrain or anything mechanical. It's just to give you an idea of like where the bits of this tree are sticking out. So maybe don't go chopping into it with an axe unless you want to get its attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, so as you can see, it's actually sticking out through or under the walls of the building. The front door, which is the part right here in the middle with the 3 squares, is open. It's sort of busted inward from when that original attack from like the weird druid guy happened. So I'm going to go ahead and start adding you to this map. And then I'm going to draw what you can see with the door open based on where you'd say your people are. So let's start adding you to the map. Behold, scale.
Oh, wow.
Big old tree. Big old castle. Yep. Here you go. You can rearrange yourself. Well, let me make sure it's unlocked because it seems to be inconsistent about whether or not it lets me do that in advance. Theoretically, you can move around a little bit. We will see if it's a click and drag day or a use the arrow button day or if it's just not working.
Moment where I was like, oh, I should cast invisibility. Don't know that that's going to help.
Well, it's not a click and drag. It is an arrow button. Stay
Okay.
sort of.
All right, I've clicked the button. Now you can move, right?
Yep.
Cool.
With the arrow keys.
No matter how many times I change that setting, it seems to forget it when people are added to it. Okay, so you can all move around. I'm going to go ahead and reveal some of the inside of it based on what you can see through the busted open doors. So
I'm going to stroll right up to the front gates of the castle and be like, I hope this bitch tree is ready for us.
I don't know if I'm ready for this tree, though.
Gonna light this tree on fire. Although I'll have to wait until later, because flame sphere is concentration. So.
No.
Okay, let's see how that works.
And then I've got a cool spell that is also a concentration that might help us if we take a lot of damage.
In fact, you can, because the doors are sufficiently busted open, I'm just going to block reveal some of those. So as noted, you've got like a few branches and whatnot sticking through there. But just looking in from here, like it's daytime, the courtyard is obviously bright. I'm just going to draw the line all the way out to here. And so that's kind of what you can see inward right now till you go forward a little bit. The thing directly ahead of you, you remember seeing a little bit of from the fireplace vision. It is a big mechanical man who is currently covered in vines that have grown out of the ground.
Ooh.
It is completely stationary.
Oh, dude. Head in the door.
Yeah, I guess Anise will just stroll right on in.
Mew.
Alrighty. So yeah, they're gonna come in with you. Strolling on in, and so I'm gonna reveal a little bit more of it, and then I'll give you a general description of the world around you. So let's see, from there, I'm gonna give you a little bit more visibility. Sure, why not? Okay, so looking inward, you can't quite see it on this map, but there's a big red tree off to the left, and
Oh, good.
and up the stairs. It's really massive now that you're looking at it this close. Like you're not worried about missing it if you were to throw something in that direction. It's huge. It has giant roots growing out and spreading out in all directions. You can actually see some of them here. In fact, some of the roots that are in front of you now are actually, they've burst through the stone walls ahead of you that stick out of the lower courtyard. So like this here is all walls, and everywhere that you see the red coming out of there, it's reflecting that a whole bunch of roots are poking out. In fact, there's actually a small door directly ahead of you that goes into something under there on the other side of this big statue man. And it's got one big root busting through it. So you can actually see a little bit inside of there from that broken door, but there's not a lot of light. Like, it's not getting the same level of light that out here has. So you can't see too far in, but there's definitely a little bit of room in that place. Looking at the castle itself, you can see upwards from the lower courtyard. On the north side, you see stairs that are going up and wrapping around. When you look up that way, you can see that there's plant roots doing a bit of a number on the walls up here too. Like, you can actually see inside a little bit at the top that there's a hallway, and there just are holes and, damage done throughout that. Like, it's pretty bad structurally. Not like gonna collapse on you bad, but obviously this is probably not what they would have wanted for it as owners of the castle.
I understand.
I mean, probably not.
Presumably. But that said, in terms of like other places that you can go, if you were to go to the right, you can go up the stairs and enter the sort of right area that you can see around those trees. Like, they're not obscuring it enough that you're worried that you wouldn't be able to like get through, but you might have to climb over some things. Straight ahead, you've got that little door that I mentioned that's broken. And then on the bottom side, you can see that there are some stairs that lead up, similar to what you saw in the fireplace. And they wrap around and go directly to that upper courtyard where the tree itself is. So you got a few directions to choose from here.
So I think we need to try and get the root from...
Anise just leaves her behind and walks forward, trying to avoid the roots.
Okay.
It was a joke. Come back. I'm gonna look at the cannibal statue
Sure.
guy.
Yeah, where's he? Is that what that is?
Yeah, he's... In fact, I'll just go ahead and I'll add a token so that's a little more clear.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
Goodbye,
Blam.
mouse.
Blam. All right, I'm just going to add it. Right. There you go. That'd make it a little more clear.
I mean, there's a circle under some leafy thing.
That's about what he is. Yeah, so here's what he actually looks like in terms of a picture. Um, brr.
Ah,
Except he's in pieces, or
He's in one piece. He's just covered in roots. The way that it was kind of described to you was that the Einsburns did have a golem, like a guardian golem, aside from the one that runs everything, that one that's just way more meant to defend things, but apparently it was just trounced when that guy showed up. It's not broken, it's just stationary, like almost like it just doesn't have whatever it needs to move anymore.
was there a separate character that had been broken up into like a bunch of pieces?
Oh, that was the main golem. Like that's the proper one. That's Oct, the leader of the Einsburns.
He is not. That is not him. He's
That's
further
not him.
in.
No.
Okay.
In terms of the way that Echo explained it to you, Oct is like the brains of the whole place. Like he's the one who manages everything. This one's more the muscle that keeps it safe. This one has been effectively turned off, whereas the other one, Oct, is just torn into pieces. Like he's
Anise
scattered across the upper courtyard.
is going to take her halberd and just start chopping away at the roots to see if she can free this guy.
Okay. Yeah, so for doing that, I mean, just do a strength check. You're doing manual labor.
Not my strong suit. Actually, I'm not too terrible at strength. Roll a 1. Oh,
No, I mean, it's not much. Like, actually, one thing that you notice when you start chopping into them is that the vines that are sort of holding this thing down are kind of dried out. It's not quite as bad as the vegetation you've seen, like, throughout the area, but you've seen something kind of like this before. So, like, as a druid, you spend a lot of time around other more experienced druids. And you've seen them using spells like grasping vines and things like that, just like plants that they manipulate and pull out. And over time, the plants that they make pop out like that just sort of shrivel up. And that's kind of what's happened here. Like they've already done whatever they were made to do. And given you've got a pretty good inclination that the guy who did all this is a druid, it's quite possible that these just popped out, did their job, and then when that guy left, they were just left here. So, yeah, even with an 11 on that, you don't have too much trouble cutting them away. They're pretty fragile.
does the golem start moving or anything once it's free of the vines?
Not that you can tell. It's pretty stationary still.
Suppose I could roll some kind of arcana check then to see if I can figure out how to reactivate him, maybe.
Yeah, go for it. Alrighty. So yeah, you've got a pretty good theory about what's going on here. Similar to other circumstances you've encountered in the past, it would appear that this is just a big and powerful thing that's out of charges. It's just off. Presumably, it's not a big leap of logic that the guy who busted in here just drained it dry and left it. And because it doesn't have any, source of power right now because everything in the area has just been pulled up by the tree, it's just off.
I guess I will call back to the rest of the party. Got a golem here that may be of use to us. He's just out of mana, I suppose. Batteries have been drained, if you will.
Okay, Kwaku's gonna walk up and check this thing out.
2 golems are better than 1 golem, I suspect.
This one is very large. Let's see. And he sort of gives it a once-over. Like, you've seen him identifying things before, and he's sort of going over it with a small... it's like a metal stick with a ball on the end, a metal ball at the end. He's kind of waving it around over that, and he's looking at it carefully. And then he sort of nods. He's like, yes, I think if we could perhaps reconnect it to the source it usually uses, which I would guess is the ley line, we could probably get it on, but I think we might have redirected all the ley lines away from here. I suppose the colloquial solution would be to jumpstart it. If we just gave it some mana, it might be able to start moving on its own again, at least for short term. See how we would go about doing that. And he sort of starts walking around it.
Suppose if we could get it to walk to the lake where one of the ley lines went. Lake's not too far.
That might do it. Okay, I've got an idea. Let's try this. And he starts doing... this is actually really interesting for Anise. So he's doing something that kind of reminds you of what you were doing before with the redirecting leyline ritual. Only, like, the actual actions that he's doing are different. Like, the process is different, but similar. It's decidedly more arcane than the nature-based things that you do. Like, for Penelope, this is like, oh yeah, that's how you do that. Obviously.
Totally, sure.
Yeah, and so what he's gonna do is he is going to... Kwaku, get your character sheet up here. He's gonna burn a spell slot. And he's gonna recharge this thing just a little bit.
That being said, I don't know if it take commands from us or if it can even speak at all.
Okay, so he does that, and so what I'm gonna do is drag him slightly over here. Gonna get rid of these because you already cut them down. So let's just take care of that problem.
Take that, bitch tree vines.
Yeah.
Vines.
Okay, so it's with that little bit of mana invested in it, it starts to shift up and it's looking around. I think both of you can... You don't need to do a sense motor for this. It's clearly assessing threats. Like, this is, you know, looking around for dangers, like it's doing its job. And this big thing, it's sort of turning, and it sees Kwaku as the closest thing that's clearly cast a spell. And it reaches out to grab him.
I will jump into its line of sight, and in German, hoping it understands German, I'll say something like, "Halt! Stop! We don't mean you any harm. We're trying to help you."
It pauses for a second, and then it sort of turns and looks at you, and then it continues. Like, you know, it's assessing you. At this point, Echo walks up a little bit and yells something at it that's not in German, but that seems to make it stop. Like, none of you know what language it is, but it does stop. And then she's like, "To the lake, right?"
That should work, yes. There is a ley line that feeds into the lake.
All right, then. And then she starts yelling at it again in another language. If any of you want to try to make a guess as to what language it is, you are welcome to roll intelligence checks, I guess. I don't think there's a normal check for trying to identify a language you don't know. Let me confirm that I'm not forgetting a 5e skill.
It doesn't seem like it.
Like, I know that older editions actually had linguistics as a skill, but I think that's gone now. For good reason.
Like, insight, maybe. History, maybe, but that'd be more...
Penelope rocked a high enough intelligence roll without a skill added to it that I think you got this one. So, Penelope, you know a thing or two about golems. And one of the things that you know about golems is that they're often associated with Jewish mythology. Like, that's sort of where the term came from. Using mythology in the grander scheme of things, not disparaging to any Jewish people. The way that it works in Tight Moon. And based on your arcane knowledge as well, mixing that in, most golems made in, especially in the European area, are made off of more Kabbalah. And so you've got a pretty good guess that she's yelling at it in Hebrew.
Hmm. Neat. I'd share that with the group.
Yeah, interesting. Having to, like, my main thing in the other D&D game I play is that I have comprehend languages, and I can, like, I have a bunch, so I'm just trying to tamp that down. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I cast nope, don't have that.
Which is fair. Comprehend languages is fun. Admittedly, in a type moon setting, it would probably be slightly more useful because there's, like, common is just one of the many, many, many iterations of language in the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something worth investing in later, but for now it gets to continue to be English. But yeah, so she gives it that direction to go charge up at the lake, and it sort of does that. It just begins walking out, and as it walks away, it just goes,
Oh no, it
Echo gets out the way.
It'd probably walk straight over Penelope without...
As it's walking, from the distance, Kwaku goes, Raps, you should move. He's bigger than you.
Raps is just like, I'm gonna square up. I'm the golem here. I guess.
It's so much bigger. So, like, when it gets to the front door, which is already kind of off its hinges, it just Kool-Aid Mans through it.
Do you suppose we should follow him? It? Them?
I think it'll be okay. Oh, wait, good point. And then she yells after it, I told it to come back when it's done.
It could be very useful against the tree. If anything else, we can just have it punch.
It is quite durable. I have a feeling there was a reason that the attacker decided to subdue it rather than destroy it. So I'm going to leave it on the map just for convenience, but it's not actually in that location anymore.
While the golem is like heading off to go take a swim, I guess.
Doesn't have to go into the lake. To the lake.
Yeah, it's going first. Penelope is like trying to see if she can peek into this tiny door that's, well, where she...
Oh, the one on the left?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Like, you can look, because the door itself has been kind of blasted out by that root.
Yeah.
So you can look inside, and yeah, I'll reveal a little bit of that for you.
Gonna use perception if that's okay.
Go for it.
Thank you.
All right. So, looking in here, it's good that you rolled over a 10 because you're kind of looking in an area that's not as well lit. But as it happens, looking in there is some light in that room, which is really just a testament to how much damage this tree has done, because there probably shouldn't be. But yeah, looking inside, what you can see, I think you can see that in there. So there are 3 doors near the end of it. There are a lot of roots in here. Like, you might actually have to crawl around some of these. For you, this is actually easier than it would be for, like, Raps. Because you're not, like, a 7-foot tall golem.
Yeah.
Raps is just going to get up here, by the way. Keep that screen consolidated. But yeah, you can see towards the back of it that those roots have kind of busted out these doors a little bit. So you can see a little bit of that, a little bit of this here, and then you can actually just see a little more back into that room. There you go. So there's some stuff back there. The back room has some things stored in it. You see something shiny from here, but you can't quite tell what it is. You might have to go in there and actually have a light source to properly identify it.
Oh, here's a question. If I hand her, I produce flame. Oh, I don't think I can do that.
Let's take a look at Produce Flame.
It doesn't say I can't, but it says it appears in my hand.
Appears in your hand, remains there for the duration, and harms neither you nor your equipment. Bright light. Yeah, I don't think you can hand it off. I think that's just where it is.
If we have anything in our inventory, I could light on. I mean, you've got your...
yeah, I'm looking to see if the BlackBerry actually has a flashlight on it.
Yeah.
I had a thing that, like, bookmarked that actually had, like, specs on it, and that website has apparently crashed.
Oh, geez. I've got a tranquil. I've got 2 tranquil.
Oh, good.
I keep forgetting.
Hey, someday I'm going to forget about those and you're going to choose a fight. It's going to be funny.
Phone, guys. I just need you to know.
I've got the German newspaper.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at what your friends can do. Oh, this is the easy one. Kwaku sees you trying to like look in there, and he sort of walks up to you. He goes, "Would you like some help seeing in there?" It's crashed.
Oh, when the computer was crashing, we were discussing the use of a cell phone, and Penelope was pulling out her cell phone to use it as a flashlight.
Oh, that also works. Would you like to go forward on that plan?
Yes, but if Kwaku also wants to come up and offer assistance, I don't think Penelope's going to be too upset about assistance.
Yeah, so Kwaku's going to walk over to you, and he's just going to offer. I think that might be a bit tight for the rest of us, but if you would like to go in and need help, I could at least get you a light.
Ooh, that would be good. She just pulls out her cell phone and is just like, I was just going to use this, but like if you got something brighter, I'll take it.
He reaches out and he touches your cell phone and he casts a quick spell, and now your cell phone is a light source.
Yes!
He cast light on a BlackBerry. We did it. We got there. We are proper urban fantasy now.
Technology! This is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Oh my god.
All right, so now your phone is a light source, even when it's off.
Hell yeah.
Are you going to go crawling in?
Yeah, I'm going to go crawling in. Woo!
A literal dungeon crawl begins.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so as you're crawling in, like as I noted before, you can see kind of further back. I'm going to reveal a little bit because like there are 3 doors ahead at the end of this hallway. But there are plants busting through all of them. Like you're not even going to need to worry about opening the doors. You can just push them aside or crawl through. So let me reveal a little bit. So just from here, you can see... No, that's the wrong way. Incorrect.
And the flashlight, it's a reverse flashlight.
Oh, no. Why is it doing that? Oh, that's why. When it crashed, it inverted those controls or something. Maybe it's because I was in the process of revealing things when it went down. I don't know. Regardless, here you go. See a little bit more. So there are 3 doors. They're all busted in. Now that you've got a light source, you can see a little bit further into the one that's directly ahead of you. Off in the back of it, you can see some things. You see a little bit shiny in the distance. Describing what you're actually in. So this is a relatively small tunnel. Like it would probably be normal size without all the plants, but for you, it's a bit more of a crawling adventure. You can see that the walls themselves, thick stone. Just you can actually see that it's very thick stone based on where it's been damaged and like the bits of rubble you see on the ground. This area is super insulated, and you get the impression that this is used for storage. You are welcome to wander forward and see what you find.
Okay. Wait, hold on. Perception check.
Go for it.
Oh no!
Yeah, so what you can see is that there are a lot of plants in here.
Oh good.
It's pretty crowded. It's kind of hard to see around the roots, but you know, you get a pretty solid sense that you could navigate through them.
1 step forward. maybe. Hold on. Okay.
All right.
I see that the roots get like really ridiculous over on on the other ends.
Yeah, so as you get further down, it's sort of like how on like other roots, like a carrot, it just sort of gets thicker as you go forward.
Good.
This isn't one root, it's just a lot of them. It's just there's more density. Like everywhere that you see a thicker red segment, that just means there's a lot more of them, not that they're actually like 5 feet around. That would be terrifying. This is just showing density for illustration.
Gotcha. Gonna try and step forward a little more and like, I don't know, tiptoe around the roots, I guess.
Sure. Do you want to like use acrobatics and try not to step on them at all, or are you just trying to make sure you don't get stuck in them?
Let's use acrobatics for a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, that's not bad. Okay, so yeah, you managed to like as a bard, as a performer, you are definitely a musician, but part of stage work is definitely being a little deft on your feet, having a little bit of a flow to it. And yeah, you don't have too much trouble. Like it's not impossible to get around them, but as you go further on, they are pretty close together, but you can kind of balance your feet so that you're never sticking your foot like between two of them. Like you're on top of the roots. You're not like wrapped up in them. So you're not likely to trip or anything like that. You can navigate around them.
Okay.
Due to your size, you can find gaps that others would not have been able to.
Cool.
As you get a little further in, you can see a little bit more into that room more far ahead of you. Sure, that'll work. So you can see you've got some barrels and some boxes back there. You can see a little bit more of that shiny thing from before is coming from the corner of that crate that you could barely make out. It's reflecting a little more. It seems that contrary to the picture here, it's not a wooden box. It's a metal box.
Just gonna keep trying to head back to that room in the back.
Okay. Okay. As you get to this part, I'm going to let you see a little bit into the side rooms. So, the one on your left, kind of looks like a wine cellar. And the one on the right also kind of looks like a wine cellar.
Gonna turn back and call back. Guys, I think I found the booze.
That makes sense.
Another step. You're gonna peek into that back door.
Okay. So peeking in. You can see a bit more like that. Yeah, it looks like it's a storage room. So that that box that you saw before, that you can see a lot more clearly now. Like, as you look in here, there are roots all over everything. Like, you would have a bit of trouble just rummaging through it the way you would as a traditional RPG looter. You'd have to put a little bit of effort in to liberate these things. But that box that you saw that's shiny before, it's a metal box. You've seen boxes like it before. You've seen them usually in the context of movies, like war movies. It kind of looks like a military case. The stuff that you see, like, you know, soldiers and whatnot running around in like old battlefields with. So that's kind of out of place.
Step into the...
Okay. So now that you're in the room, I'm just going to go ahead and reveal the whole room to you. Here you go. Look at that. So yeah, there's a bunch of barrels and other things around here and all the storage. But that metal case, you can see now it actually does have some writing on the side of it. And the writing has a bunch of like letters and numbers that you definitely recognize, again, from movies, as looking like it's probably military code. Like maybe this thing is, former military property. It looks like it's got some of the United States stuff on it, actually. It's green. And of all the things in here, like it does have some roots on it, but it's not like completely ensnared on them like the golem was outside. You could probably pull it out.
Alright, I'm gonna try and pull it out.
Cool. Use that strength you have a bonus in right now.
Woohoo!
That means you roll twice.
Oh!
Not that you need to.
Wait, I accidentally rolled stealth. Fuck.
I mean, it's still a 20. Like, I'm not going to make you do that again. You rolled a 20.
Yay!
All right. So what is your base one for that, just for curiosity?
Or
Okay, so you have a 19 total, right?
what?
For your strength is 9.
Yeah, strength is 9. I don't know.
And
What?
you got advantage from what Anise cast on you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Like it's a nat 20. Like you did it. I was just curious to see what numbers we're looking at. All right, so yeah, using your incredible halfling strength empowered by the strength of the druid magic, you manage to reach over there, and you expect this thing to be more stuck than it is, but you're just so strong that you just pull the thing out. The roots all around it snap. They flip to the side. It's whatever, but you busted this thing out. And yeah, it's a big green metal case. There are latches on the side of it, which you can easily flip up if you so desire, because you pulled it out without breaking anything.
Okay, I'll open it.
Okay, so when you open it, you find inside of it a bunch of stuff that I'm going to add to the party sheet in the inventory. So let's just drop those in here.
Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, no.
So you find a bunch of weapons, a bunch of modern military weapons stored in this box. You also find a tiny little booklet. It's not very big at all. You could probably fit it in your pocket if you wanted to. But when you pick it up and you thumb through it, it looks like it is a passport. There's some guy with black hair in it. It appears to be registered under the name Kiritsugu Emiya. And yeah, you've essentially found some guy's ridiculously dangerous weapon cache.
Hooray! Alright, I'm gonna bring it back out to the group.
Go for it.
I'm gonna try. Yeah. Gonna poke my head into that room really quick.
Okay. That room, covered in vines and stuff, and you can see at the far end there's a very large barrel, like cask thing up against the wall. Checks out for me in a wine cellar. Cool, but this one's fairly empty outside of that one at the end. It's just pretty big. Taking a peek in the bottom one too?
Yeah, I might.
Okay. This one, similar to the top one, but way more crowded. It's got a lot more. Also covered in plants and stuff. Like, essentially, everything else down here seems to be functioning as a wine cellar. Now that you sort of think about it, this area is surrounded by, like, dirt on all sides, rocks. You get little bits of light coming in from the top, mostly from the roots of that plant poking through. But for the most part, this seems like a pretty reasonable place to store your wine if you're, in possibly over 1,000-year-old castle.
Seems gonna head back out. Guys, look what I found. I'm gonna hold the box up there.
It's a box.
She opens the lid.
It's weapon.
Yep. Some of these look pretty dangerous. We could probably use them against the tree. I think those are great.
Oh, I believe those were left by the fourth Grail War Master. None of us had any real need for them, so we just sort of put them aside so they wouldn't hurt anything.
Grenades could be useful against the tree.
Do
I
do
don't
any
know.
of you know how to use those?
Not really. You pull a pin and you throw it, from my understanding.
Yeah, I don't know that I know how to use those.
What else was in the box?
A gun.
Yeah, I certainly don't know
hold
how
on.
to use that.
Specifically, an automatic rifle. Yeah, there's a gun in here, and then there was this passport. I don't know what we're gonna do with this passport, but we got it.
But you got it. Well, it's definitely something. None of us really bother with these. These are more of a modern humanity toy, but can't really argue with the results. He was the Mage Slayer. Presumably, applying them correctly could do some damage.
If only any of us knew how to use this.
I mean,
Out of curiosity, I'll roll an arcane check to see if they're magical in nature.
okay. They don't appear to be, but while you're inspecting them, you do notice that, as weird as this is, if you look when you pick one or two of them up and you start looking around in the box, there actually is a little piece of paper stuck on the side of it that has instructions for how to use these safely.
Oh. Well, should we need to use them, there are instructions.
Oh, good.
Um,
Probably read those before we go and try and chuck them at the tree, but...
Yeah, like the instructions are actually pretty simple. Like they're in English, so both of you can read them, and they have pictures. Like it's almost like they know that they need to make sure that whoever gets their hands on these needs to know what they're doing, and printed something out and put it on the inside of this.
That's all good.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing, like, Kutsugu going and, like, printing out a diagram at the library or something. They're like, sir? Why are you printing out diagrams of grenades?
Probably isn't that's unusual though. So hey, there you go. You've got some grenades and knowledge of how to use them.
Hello?
You cut out there?
There you go.
Yeah. You've got grenades and knowledge of how to use them now. So neat.
Hooray.
So yeah, that said, what would you like to do now?
Suppose we could go check on the golem, or poke around here for a little more.
I suppose it would be a good idea to at least get a better vantage point. The tree you can't really miss. It's right up there, but would you like to...
Find something useful.
We could fall back to the gatehouse, or we could try to get around it.
Is this where I just moved my token? Is that a door that leads into that room?
Yes. There's one door to the bottom and two above it. Those are all on the entrance level. Other than that, just to recap, because it's kind of hard to see, there's... oh wait, keep track of which screen I'm on. So this area, there's a door, and there's a door, there's a door, and right next to where I started this thing, there's a door up here. And actually, since you're out there now, just going to reveal the whole courtyard. There's no reason to hold this a little more obscure now. You've been here. You've had plenty of time to look. There we go. Give you a little bit more of that. And then just give you the whole bottom wall. Oh, look, I gave you too much. Doesn't matter. There's stuff in there. Actually, you can see through there anyway. The roots have made Swiss cheese of that wall. So, yeah, just looking through that, you can see that the top and bottom areas right here from around the main door are that front wall. And you can pretty easily get into either of them. Like, really, all of the security measures that would have been these doors have been completely ruined by these roots just jamming them open. This area at the front is a few stories up. So you could take the little stairway things at the top and bottom of down here. So, like, here's the first one, which can take you up that way and leads up to the gatehouse from the top. There's the second one way down here, which would take you directly up to the upper courtyard where the tree is. And you can just see a little bit of damage pointing out this, that you could go upstairs through that and presumably up here as well based on, building symmetry. So you've got a few directions you can go in.
Suppose I'll poke my head into this room and see what I see. Do we need to roll perception or?
For just looking around?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll reveal it and then you can roll perception to get for details.
Oop.
You find a room. This room has a little table to the right with some chairs. Got a bookshelf on the far end. You are welcome to rummage around.
I will look at the book.
Okay. So the bookshelf has a bunch of paper ledgers on it. You find a log of the comings and goings of different guests. They are very far between. As you thumb through it, like if you want to see the last few, just for context, a few months back prior to all of these incidents, they actually had a guest from Levisa Edelfelt, the woman who you work with once, or the woman that you provide potions for once in a while. Apparently she visited a few months back prior to all of this happening. And then prior to that, the logs go back about a year ago, and they're more logging like the exit of Echoviel von Einzbern and Lisret and a few others listed their cella. That was about a year ago. So this place has been pretty static for at least a year with only one visitor prior to this attack thing. At least going by the entrance and leaving logs. They don't really get a lot of guests, it seems. If you look around other than that, there's a few mentions of deliveries and stuff like that, but the deliveries seem to just have minor notes of brought in or out with the names of a few homunculus. It's very clear that these are not outside. It doesn't say like UPS or DHL, I guess in this case, since you're in Germany. But yeah, it's just accounting, paperwork, stuff like that. Other than that, got a little table. There's some playing cards sitting on the table. They've just sort of been left there.
Do you want to do anything for me?
I'm just having Penelope go over towards those stairs at the top of the map.
Okay. Cool. All right, then from the stairs at the top of the map, you can see a little bit more. You're actually going up to the top stairs? Because if so, I will get you the next floor map.
Maybe not go like up to the next floor, but like see what you see from up there.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I can pull up the next floor map. You don't have to go on it, but you'll have a view of it.
Okay, cool. Oh yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so from there you can actually see a lot. So I'm just going to reveal a giant map at you, so apologies for the size of this thing.
Good.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a... Oh, it's still got that thing on it. Hold on, let me get rid of that. You cleared that out. Get out of here, unnecessary duplicate thing. So yeah, you can see the tree in its scale versus the area that you've been in. And so from up there, because like, you know, you're obviously on those stairs. Like you can, I'm not going to drag your token back and forth, but you get the idea. You're up there. You can see, thankfully, as you get much higher up, the weirdness of the roots are less of an issue. Whereas the bottom floor has tons and tons of roots smashing into the walls. Like once you're one floor up, you get less of that. Although you can see looking ahead that this big tree is smashed all into the upper courtyard walls. Like its actual branches are sticking in a lot of those. It's not a huge leap to see that like whatever happens to this tree, you probably don't want it to fall over.
Ooh.
It is all up in the structure of this castle.
Cool. I'm gonna roll a perception check, I guess.
What are you trying to
Just
see?
I like if there's. I want to see if she can see any like good points attack the tree from. I don't know.
You're looking for just positions that are advantageous, I guess.
Yeah.
Like the high ground, to make the Star Wars joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh.
Okay. So from up here, you can see that the like on the bigger map, it's got branches that are sticking in the different walls. Like it's busting a bit into that north hallway, and it's completely subsuming that building on the south. Like it's just made a total mess of it. That said, another thing that you notice is that there's a tower right above you, like just to the north. Let me reveal a little bit of it on the map. See if there's a clean way for me to do this. Actually, I'm just going to go back to that picture that I shared a little bit ago, the 3D one. That'll be easier to comprehend. So let's pop this thing out again. And you can see in the context of that there's a really tall tower right next to where you're at now. It's a square shape, but it has windows all up through there. It's got an area on the top. If you wanted to go up there, you would probably be out of the tree's reach, even with those big old branches. It's a question of like how effective the things you would do from up there would be, but you could try. So that would be a high ground. Other than that, you could try to get to the other side of the tree if you wanted to do something from the building there. Beyond that, your only real options are to actually go in the courtyard near it. Like, it's kind of blocked off your ability to flank it from the building above and below it.
Okay. He's gonna go back down the stairs and join the group again. And basically just report what she saw and be like, where's this?
Okay. When you go back down, you don't see Anise around. She's not immediately visible out here. But the others are here.
I'm gonna explore in here.
Ah.
All right. So you're poking your head in this little room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. A hallway, behold. Excitement. Yep, so with this hallway, you can actually see a bit down toward the end. There's a spiral staircase that is going up. And you can see the roots get a lot more dense as you get down, which matches what you saw outside. Other than that, you can see these little window slots on the left of you, which presumably would be useful if you were attacking outwards. But you're not really seeing too much else in here. Like, it's a mess. Like, obviously there's like bits of like stone all over the place, but otherwise you don't see any enemies or anything like that.
Oh, as I will look in this room.
Okay. All right. When you look in this room, what you actually see is there's more books. There's more. There's like a desk. There's a seating area. This is actually, it kind of gives you the vibes of a lounge. Like maybe this is where people who weren't on duty might sit around. It's in general, this place is weird to you because you know that it's currently occupied by homunculi, but from what you saw in that weird vision, obviously this building has been here for a very long time, and there were once people here. And as you're looking around in these rooms, like, there are bookcases and things like that, but those were clearly added later on because the time period that you were looking at before doesn't really mesh with some of this stuff. I mean, it's not like the most modern books, but they are like paper books properly bound. So apparently someone at some point decided to upgrade at least a little bit on the convenience factor at the front.
I guess I'll take a look at the books.
Sure.
Do I need to do anything else?
Okay, so yeah, looking through the books, these are books that are all like 20th century printings, so that's cool. These books though they're still pretty old. Like these books are probably printed in like the 60s or 70s. They're it takes a moment to really dig through them because like they're in German, but you can read it. There's actually like a set of encyclopedias in here. So just some general knowledge stuff. They're not really fiction. So apparently at some point someone decided to acquire a bunch of 1960s encyclopedias. But nothing supernatural, nothing out of the ordinary, just a collection of some sort.
Suppose I will leave and... get stuck in the wall.
Oh no! She's phasing again.
Okay, now I'm outside. I guess I'll come back in through the... I jumped out of the
really
wall.
tiny arrow slit. You jumped right through it. Like a cartoon.
It's randomly reappeared.
Nothing interesting in here. Some books. Shall we keep exploring while we wait on our golem friend?
Yeah, I went up the stairs over there when the stairs she went up, and like, I think our best bet, because I think the only person who has any sort of ranged anything is Echo. We may just have to go up those other stairs, points of the other stairs, and just hit this thing head on. I don't, like, there's no other way around this thing. Sure what else we could do.
There was some spiral staircase down the hallway back here. Suppose we could go up there and see where that leads.
It's like, it's like all a bunch of towers. Spooky bit.
Ah. Understandable.
Just like, I'm not sure. I don't know that hiding up in a tower is gonna help. Really?
No.
think you're right, and we need to attack this at the root.
You made it fun!
Uh,
So
Well-
proud of you.
while we wait on our golem friend, I guess I'll explore this room here.
Okay. All right. This room, it, as is going to be a recurring tradition, you definitely find a table and some chairs and all. But this one actually has a weapon rack up on the wall, and it's got more spears, kind of like yours, but less fancy.
Hmm.
So, this stuff you know looks old. Like, no one's touched these in a long time.
Could throw these at the tree, I suppose.
Hmm.
Stab them into the tree.
Good. How tall are these things?
The spears,
Yeah.
probably about 3 or 4 feet.
Tall as that?
They're about as tall as you, yeah.
Yay!
They're like one Penelope tall.
Well, I will move on into the next area.
Okay. Get another hallway. There we go. Got rid of the invisible line that kept getting in your way.
Up. Sticking my head in and looking around.
Lunchroom.
And that's it. It's just like a cafeteria.
Well, kind of. Like, you get the impression that people used to eat here, but it's, again, a lot of these rooms are just really, really ancient and don't make a lot of sense for the modern setting. Like, that one just has, like, a bench with, or, like, it's like a picnic table almost with a shelf to the right. Not much in there. Like, in general, this whole area doesn't seem to be heavily in use by the homunculi.
Head. That door that's directly. Yeah, that one.
That one?
Yeah.
The way up.
More steps. Oh. Nope, there's more. Whoa. Ugh.
Because I'll head in. To look around.
All right. So, looking way down this hallway, I'm just going to reveal the whole thing because doing this piecemeal is dumb. You can see way down at the end of this hall are some smaller stairs that are going up, which would correspond to that tower that you saw from outside.
Poke my head in here.
Okay. Right, you found storage again. Lots of boxes, lots of barrels.
I guess I'll roll another perception check to see if I...
You want to, like, investigate the room?
Or, yeah, investigation.
Okay.
See if there's anything useful or interesting.
Okay, well, you don't find anything too exceptional, but one thing that you do find, you'll note that, again, this is like a castle wall. So these are stones. This room seems to have all of the lantern oil
Hmm. Ooh.
with some
But no
lanterns.
lantern? Wait, are there lanterns or is it just oil?
There's like 1 or 2 lanterns hanging on the wall, but it's mostly drums of oil. There are really old signs in German warning about open flames.
Hmm. Could be useful. You said there were like 2 hanging on the wall?
Yeah, there are 2 lanterns hanging on the wall, but the rest of it's just raw oil.
I guess I'll take both and fill them both up with oil. Hand one to Penelope.
Ooh, Ned.
Cool.
Could be useful. We could probably get Raps and possibly our other golem friend to pick up these barrels and take them to the tree.
And fire.
Yes.
Ooh.
It is a possibility.
Fire plan, just fire.
I mean, there are worse plans against trees, right?
I like this idea.
Quite useful.
All right.
We'll have to remember where this is. Actually, I'm going to go up these stairs. See where they lead.
Okay. I'm just going to add your lanterns. In fact, you've actually held a lantern like this in another person's form before.
Oh,
So, neat.
so I know how to work it.
You do. These are hooded lanterns. And,
While she's running up the stairs, we'll check that other.
and just for the reflecting how many of these you've got, I'm just going to put oil flasks over here, just to signify that you took enough to fill these two up.
Mm.
So that's all on the party sheet. You can grab those at your leisure. All right. You're heading upstairs?
Yep.
Okay. So, I'm gonna start revealing some of this map then.
Took a land.
All right, I'm gonna drag you to the new map, and
Yeah, I have the party sheet up.
Yeah, you see the little square beside the stuff, and then
Mm-hmm.
click on that and drag it over into storage.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad you knew what I was going to ask before I really asked it.
Yeah.
alrighty.
I'm going to take the rifle. No.
You could.
I don't know. I don't think she knows how.
And it's got a
Probably not. I think Penelope could probably figure it out. She's watched enough movies, right? The gun that is bigger than she is, but...
Oh dear.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Alright. I have migrated you to the other map.
Oh, good.
Ah, okay.
Is Penelope going up with her?
No, I think...
Oh no, she wanted to poke her head into the one room beside the lantern oil room.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so that one is pretty boring. It's like an intermediary room. It's just got some locked doors. Presumably it's more for defense than anything else. It just goes under the stairs up. But if you open the door at the bottom, you can look out and you can see Raps again.
I'm gonna open the door at the bottom.
Go for it. You can see Raps again. He's way down there.
Waving at Raps. Oh,
Arr.
buddy.
He gives you a thumbs up.
Yay. And that's how we get Raps into the lantern room.
Yep.
Are you directing him to go into the lantern room?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
We found oil.
Oh, good. Trees hate that.
Yeah. And we found lanterns.
Oh, good. Oil hates that.
And Anise can make fire.
This makes sense. I like this plan.
And there's big barrels of this stuff. So if Raps grabs a barrel and our other golem dude grabs a barrel, just set the tree on fire.
That will definitely wake it up.
Just a smidge.
Okay.
Might hurt it a little bit.
Okay, so you can coordinate that with Raps, at least for right now.
Yeah.
And I'm going to jump back over to the other map that has Anise on it. So,
And it's gonna tentatively explore.
okay. So I'm going to draw out this hallway for you. Somewhat similar to the one below it. You can see the stairs that presumably connect directly down to it. And down here, you've got some doors and windows and stuff.
Yeah, I'll poke my head into this room.
Okay, you have super long hallway.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of doors. And then at the very end of the hallway,
Mm-hmm.
you have More of that thing. It makes sense exactly how you would think it would. And again, up here you can kind of see those like root lines. Those don't apply to this floor. They're just there so that you have frame of reference to the one below it. So this is actually pretty smooth. Give or take areas where there's been some uprooting damage. This is a much easier walk. Immediately to your right is another one of those weapon racks with like really old spears.
I'm gonna walk down the hallway. Do the doors, are they open or closed?
These doors are closed and they're intact.
I guess I'll try this door, see if it'll open.
Yep, it's not locked.
I'll look in.
It's a bedroom.
Do I see anything interesting other than just beds?
These are really, really old beds. That's about it. This room
no-
doesn't appear to be in use. You can tell that.
I'll look in the next room.
Bedroom.
Speed walking to the next one.
Speed playing to the next one.
Oh, okay. So this directly in front of me, is that like a window?
Yeah, that's a window that's looking out. You can actually see the tree pretty good from here. But yeah, you could tell just from skimming around over here that this whole area is clearly built up to be the front guard for this castle in the event of, normal mortal securing of it.
Walk back. Let's just assume I checked all the rooms and
Yeah.
they're all bedrooms.
They're all just bedrooms. They're not in much use right now. The beds are sturdy old wood. The mattresses are long since rotted. No one messes with these at all.
Gonna look in this room here.
All right. This room here is a tiny antechamber before you go outside to those stairs that Penelope ran up to the top of before, but didn't actually come in.
Okay.
So yeah, the front of the castle is largely for defense. That was useless because they have a giant golem.
Yeah, these stairs lead back down to the first floor.
Yeah. Those are the outside stairs that go down the first floor. In fact, actually, while you're looking around up here, I will note that while you were like inspecting the front, you could see from out these windows. I'm just gonna reveal all this. There's no reason not to. You see your golem buddy coming back. He's on the other map because it's ground floor, but he's making his way back. He seems to be up and active again.
I will briskly walk down this way and see if there's a way to get to where the tree is from this hallway. That was what I was hoping for.
Okay, so when you get there, you can sort of peek around the edge. And so you got like windows at the bottom, areas overlooking the courtyard. And are those not revealing? Oh, it's because there's 2 layers of maps, right? Yeah, so you've got a bit of view over the courtyard from the window ahead and to the left. And then to the right, I'm just going to say you could peek down there well enough to see. You can get to some of the tree branches, but you're going to have to rummage your way through them if you want to get around it.
All right. That answered my question. I'm going to go back downstairs.
Okay. I think you've still got a token on the first map.
Do I?
Nope.
No? Oh, they moved it. Cool. Well, actually, I appreciate that function actually working. Good job, game. Back to the first floor with you. Boop. There you go.
So since I don't know about the little room that Penelope found, I'm going to go all the way around and back.
As is your
Our
right.
golem friend is on his way back.
Yep, he's
Let's
actually
go
just
back.
walking in behind you since you took the long way there.
Golem is here.
Penelope pops out of the door. Hello!
Ah! I'm gonna jump out of the way. So we've got those barrels of oil, but I haven't actually found a way up to where tree is.
When you were looking, you could see that the bottom path takes you up to the courtyard.
It'll be a bit longer of a walk, but we can get the oil up those stairs, I think.
Is there a... Was there, like... Did you see a place to, like, throw the oil from, or...
There were windows that you could see the tree through, but not really. The point is that, as far as I can tell, the spiral staircases don't lead to the courtyard where the tree actually is.
Right.
And those stairs, also, these don't lead to it either. But it does look like the stairs down here do.
Right.
Oh, I just moved the golem.
Haha. Yeah, so just to recap, the stairs at the bottom that go up will take you directly to the courtyard where it is.
Mhm.
From what you saw before, the stairs to the left area, let me grab that arrow again. These ones right here go up into the tower that was kind of overlooking the area. So that's a way up. Those are like, that doesn't connect outward to the upper courtyard. So if you want to go to the courtyard, you're pretty much going to have to take the stairs at the bottom or use some other method of traversing it. If you just want to get above it to a high ground, you could go up that tower.
It really all depends on if we want to set the base of the tree on fire or dump the oil from a higher vantage point and set the branches on fire.
Just as a druid, you know that if you were to get the trunk of the tree, it would probably kill it a lot faster than the branches.
Fire would spread more quickly from the branches, but it would kill faster if we dumped it at the base of the...
Let's just at the base of the tree.
Okay. The
Oh.
golem probably can't get into that tiny little room, the big golem.
Right.
So I guess we'll have to get wraps to bring a couple barrels out, and then...
Okay.
Like, can the big guy carry two, like one in each arm, maybe?
Pretty easily.
So
Like, Raps
we'll
could carry one of these things. The big guy could easily carry two.
We'll have to get Raps to bring 3 out and get the big guy to carry 2 up.
Okay. We're not going to move the tokens back and forth. We'll say you did that.
Mm-hmm.
So are we heading up then?
Ooh. Actually, how many barrels were in that room?
It had, like, in the picture there's 3, but there's actually about 6 or 7.
Because we could also put some barrels in those wine cellar things I found. No, because I couldn't push. Never mind.
I mean, it would be super
Yeah.
flammable if you did it.
Yeah, but the only people, or well, not people, Raps and definitely the big guy wouldn't be able to fit in there. I think
Yeah.
I would even have trouble in there.
Yeah.
Interesting thought.
Be like, yeah, so let's get those barrels.
Okay.
If we wanted to take a little extra time, we could probably, between Raps and the big guy, get all 6 up there, but I don't know if we need that much oil.
That's
We've
fair.
also got the grenades.
Ooh, yeah.
All right. So should I assume that everyone is going to go up to the 2nd floor and move your tokens accordingly?
Yep.
Seems like a plan.
All right.
While we're doing that, gonna grab a cup of grenade. Yeah.
And you actually read the thing that says how to use them safely.
It's important.
to save the tree has to get dexterity. It's a tree.
Oh yeah, when I was preparing my spells, I'm just like, well, that one would be useful, but you can't knock this tree prone, I think, so...
It
we're
would be
gonna
difficult. Yeah, most of the things that are at low levels are going to say humanoid, which is probably not helping. All right. I'm going to
So-
add this golem to the combat tracker since you've got it at least listening to Echo right now.
So is our strategy to have them open up the barrels and just like throw the oil on the tree, or is our strategy to like have them set the barrels at the base and then put grenades on barrels so that they explode, or
It's like check grenades. I feel like that's
mm-hmm.
less likely to notice. Yeah,
Yeah.
tree might notice if people are pouring oil on it, but like
My
if the
thought
barrels are.
my thought was if it's possible to even circle the entire tree, to have them spread the oil around the entire
Ooh.
base and then light it on fire.
That's awesome. I like.
Can we go fully around the tree?
I don't know.
Is there a check we need to make to determine that?
I mean, like, the tree doesn't... The trunk of the tree is not the entire courtyard. Like, you could try to get around it, you'll just have to get close. Like, you're obviously walking under its canopy at that point.
Ooh.
Alright.
I guess we'll discuss that with the whole group. Like, so we could try and spread the oil around the entire trunk, or we could just stack the barrels up and throw the grenades at the barrels.
I'm not a demolition expert. I would not want to get too close to it. I have a feeling once it realizes that we're here, it's probably going to try to kill us.
Yeah, probably. That was Australian for some reason.
It's Anna's Australian cousin.
Anise.
Yeah.
Oi, mates.
Oh god.
Anise is taking a nap, so I'm gonna swap in. But I don't know anything about shit, and I'm not very good at things, so
Oh
good
no.
luck, mates.
Oh no.
Let me find my accent again. I suppose then our best bet is going to be to maybe have them roll the barrels at the tree and then throw the grenades at the barrels and just hope for the best.
That makes as much sense as anything. At the very least, if it hits roots, it'll still be annoying it.
True.
Okay, so I think I've got everyone on the map. Feel free to reorient yourselves.
I don't see giant golem dude.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Oh,
see
it's because I added him to the combat tracker. Yeah, hold on. Hey, you buddy, get out here.
What's
Brr.
the strategy for attacking going to be?
So we're rolling the barrels up to the trunk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could just chuck the grenades once they've got the barrels in place.
Are you going to need? Are you going to need that advantage on those strength checks? Says Anise. For any of your attacks, or can I drop concentration?
I mean, I don't.
Like, attacks aren't checks, so...
I should be fine if you need to drop it. I appreciate you using it. It helped me get the grenades in the first place.
It's true.
Thanks for the help, she says, like holding up a grenade.
Just be careful with that.
What with this? Just like starts holding up the grenade. Sorry, the look on your face.
Well, it's that, but also like the tree.
I'm
On
showing
top
you where the trunk of the tree is.
Oh, okay.
That's what that means.
Oh, okay.
I've given it a big circle token so that you can see where roughly the size of the trunk versus the branches. It's not actually this big. I just... Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even see that.
Like that.
'cause,
No,
like,
it's about that big. That's its size.
yeah, my character sheet was covering like most of the trees. I'm like, what are you talking about? What's going on with the tree?
There you go. Now you've got a token, and that also means you'll have something to target when fighting happens.
Hooray.
So,
believe.
all right, are you ready to move up the stairs?
Sure. Anyone opposed to having our golems roll the barrels at the tree and then praying that Penelope can aim.
Hey. I mean, well, I Penelope says, pulling out the second grenade. I have no opposition to this plan.
If you miss with the grenades, they'll at least still damage the tree probably, and I can ignite the oil barrels probably with one of my spells.
Foolproof.
Haha. All right, cool. So in that case, are you giving the order to the golems to start chucking?
Sure.
Okay, Kwaku and Echo give the orders. So now we're going to make some checks. Athletics check.
Are these squares 5 or...
They're 5 feet. Yeah, this is an actual properly to scale map, thankfully. It's just huge because it's a castle. All right, so let's have this guy make a check.
Just...
Don't mind.
Oh, Golem, your sheet's boring.
Barely.
All right, I'm just going to do some rolls. All right, so first up is going to be the big golem. Rah. That's a good one. Okay, so... And Raps is going to be going at the same time.
Oh, the bird's still in the combat tracker.
It's around. Don't worry about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so the Einsburn Golem, it sort of reminds you of bowling. Like, it takes its big, the big keg that it has of oil, and it just sort of gives it a good rolling chuck, and it bounces over the different roots on the tree, and ultimately ends up rolling right up next to the trunk.
I thought it had 2.
Yeah, that's the first one. It's throwing one at a time.
Gotcha.
Raps is attempting something similar, but Raps, unfortunately, is not a celebrated bowler and uses the bumper lanes. So when Raps attempts to do the same thing, it hits the first root, bounces up in the air, and then crashes into the side of the tree, splintering and dousing the bottom of the tree in oil.
Yeah, excellent.
So it gets the intended result, but
Kick story.
it has definitely also made the tree aware that something is going on.
God.
So now we are going to roll some initiatives.
Oh god.
Okay.
Grenades. Jesus.
All right, let's... Initiative
Christ.
for everyone. Look at that bird. That's not even here rolling first.
Well, Mother save us. We're all going to die.
All right.
Worship the wild mother.
Oh god, the fucking initiative.
I love that this bird constantly rolls high. All right, I'm going to drop that tree's token and give it a real one so you have something to target in the combat tracker for when actual things are happening.
Oh yeah, what's the tree's initiative?
I'm looking forward to seeing it myself.
Good bonus in it. It's 3.
Completely just uproots itself and just has legs.
I imagine it's gonna attack us with its branches.
All right, now it's going to be back, and I'm going to make it all big again. But now it's actually on the combat tracker. That's how big I had it before, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, that works. That's how big it is.
I don't see it on combat tracker.
It's because it hasn't done anything yet.
Oh good.
But you're aware that it's here, so I'm just going to let you see it anyway. Behold, a tree.
Oh, that's how you spell it out.
Yeah. Well, that's how they spelled it when they localized it as we all know, Type Moon spellings are special.
The localization is special.
You know, with Altria and all that.
Over that.
Okay, so first up is the bird. Which, funny story, you actually can see the bird swooping overhead. It is flying circles around this tree. Now that you're up here, you can see that. And it is still holding on to that stupid bear.
Oh
no.
so good.
So that's fun. So yeah, it's swooping around. Good job, bird. Way to go. Now it's Penelope's turn.
Oh god. Alright.
I guess the question is, how close to the tree do you need to be able to throw the grenades?
Yeah, that is a very good question. But I don't know the answer.
I'm 60 feet away from the tree where my token is. Or from the base of the
What is the range on the grenades?
Well, they have a range, I guess.
Let me find out. It says 60.
Hey!
Whoa!
Okay.
And then my speed is 25, so... Oh, god.
To be there. Nope, there.
Okay, yeah, I can get to there.
Okay.
Hooray. I'm gonna chuck a fucking grenade at this tree.
All right. You should be able to target the tree. Have at.
Alright, how do I attack the tree?
You'd roll to hit first.
Okay, so did it give you an action for your grenade? It should. It should be on your weapons.
Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Puppy. Oh. That. No. Okay. Hold on. 500. Let me try that again. Oh.
It wasn't a 1.
Oh, I'm glad it wasn't the one.
I'm glad it wasn't a 1 too, because you're right next to Anise. You would have both had a story. Okay, so you chuck it, you prime it, you hold down the thing per the instructions, and you throw it, and it goes a little bit wide. Admittedly, you've never thrown a grenade before. So you toss it over that way, and it's off to the side.
1, 2, 5. 3 steps.
3! Oh.
Okay, so you chucked it over there. It does blow up, but it doesn't blow up in range of the oil because you missed. So,
Damn it.
alas.
Did it damage any roots or anything?
You do see it do some damage to the roots that are on the ground. In fact, going to say that this is something I should have done before, so this is me being new and making my own mistakes. On initiative 20, the tree actually uses a layer action because it's a boss. So this is right before you, but I'm letting you go first anyway because it makes more sense this way. So I'm going to roll some dice. Where are you, dice results? Why don't I see you? Why don't I see them? That's weird. It's hiding the die results from me. That means no one sees them.
Yeah.
Come on, game. Get your act together. There we go. We can see those. All right, cool. Weird. All right, so when the barrels hit it, the second one in particular, the one that smashed against it, the tree itself, it doesn't really make a noise like, you know, a roar or an angry thing like that. But where before you'd seen those big red leaves kind of billowing, they got suspiciously still and tense. And then the tree shook a little bit. just a little bit. And some things fell out of it, kind of like when pine cones fall out of trees. And so they just sort of drop here and there. And when it did that, some things fell out. So we're going to have... some of these things popped out.
Oh, is it the blight?
Yep, it's a few blights. You've definitely seen those before. And so those things fell out from around it. And the reason I'm rewinding this, to make sure I do that right, is one, that's the proper way layer actions work. Two, it means that when you miss, your grenade still has something to hit.
Okay.
So your throw went a bit to the right. So you can target the top two, and then you can roll your grenade damage.
Okay. How do I...
They disappeared. Why?
Oh, man, I
You're so
They're
effective.
also not-
I know why. I'm just dumb.
They're also not initiative to...
They fell off because I added them directly from his ability sheet from its ability sheet rather than from the combat tracker. So as soon as I closed his ability sheet because I didn't need it anymore. So let's just do this the proper way. Learning for me too. All right, let's try that again. They're all going to get their own initiatives.
I'll be right back.
Okay. It's so mad at me for adding so many of them at once. This is actually a lot easier to do when they're not generating a spontaneous number of them, because then I can just build the encounter and have it ready. But it rolls to
Right.
determine how many fall out.
Ooh.
So actually it works in your favor, because by rolling it did not get as big a numbers as it could.
Hooray.
Where are the rest of you? Come on. All right. They're all now on the combat tracker. And I'm going to reveal them so you can see them. But we're going to ignore the ones that went before you because they just fell out and can't do anything yet. So don't be too intimidated by their numbers on the first round.
I'm good.
They were just born, so they don't know what's going on.
They're like, we just got here, and what is this?
Yep. So now I'm going to drag them onto the actual map. Tree angry. Tree hangry.
That's worse.
I mean, you did cut off its meal ticket. There we go. All right, now they're here properly, and you should be able to target all of them. So you can target the top two and roll your grenade damage.
Okay, I'm gonna... These two that I just... Those two?
Beetle blight 2 and fart will fight.
Okay. I think I highlighted those. There's like the red... Do you guys see the red arrows?
I don't, but I do see in the combat tracker that you have them list. Well, you have Chig like 1 and 2 as targets.
I just picked. I think that's.
Should be 2 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't 2 and. Oh, okay.
Do you just do you like just make a box around them to target them?
Yeah, there's like a thing in the map up at the top in the right corner that's like target mode.
Oh, gotcha. Oh yeah, we
What
had
is
fun
that?
with that with the Shinjis.
Yeah.
All right, you got them targeted. Roll for explosion.
Okay. What do I roll for the DM? Do I draw or drag over the box that says 5?
I think you can just click on the 5d6 or whatever it says. I think it should just do it. Clicking or double clicking it. Yeah. Well, that's sufficiently violent.
Oh!
Yeah, they don't appreciate that.
Nope.
Instant death. Wow.
I mean, you're throwing grenades at twigs.
True.
All right, so yeah, you didn't hit the tree, but you still did some damage.
Hooray.
Cool. All right, is there anything else Penelope would like to do?
No. Good.
All right, tree time.
No!
Okay, so this tree is going to do a thing. The tree is going to try to grab a big golem. Does its branches reach? Probably not. You might be out of its reachy range.
Tree needs to branch out and find some new attack.
It really doesn't.
Oh,
You should branch out and find some new hobbies, maybe.
Well, perhaps.
true to-
Yeah,
take
you're
up-
all
take
actually
up-
just standing just outside of its angry tree range. So,
Take up new instead of draining entire areas of mana, dude.
yeah. So what the tree's gonna do is... It's gonna shake around a little bit. And in doing so, it's gonna actually have some of its roots immediately around it come up from the ground. Which, in practice, shakes things up a bit for all of you. But it doesn't actually hurt anyone now. All it really means is that now that its roots are coming up out of the ground, it has a lot more range and can reach stuff. But that's all it can do for this turn. As a tree, it is not built for speed.
Large Angry Snowman.
He's got another thing to throw. He's going to throw it. That's what he was told to do. That's what he's going to do.
Good job, Large Angry Snowman. Do things.
Okay, so he chucks his other big oil keg, and this one it doesn't hit the tree quite as effectively as the first one, but it definitely smacks into the front twig blight and just smashes it back against the tree with the oil can kind of stuck on it where it is. So
Would you say that either of the ones that the big angry stone man threw are near where Raps's exploded on the tree?
So yeah, I'll draw you some lines for this. Actually, I just draw some circles for where they went up. That's probably easier. So first one went up in this area. Like that's the one that Raps blew up. So we got that. And then the ones that are still intact, I'm just going to put down little squares so that you can see. So one of those squares is right shapes. One of them is right here because it's collided with that guy. And one of them is right there. So they're all pretty close together. It's just one of them actually smashed into the side of it. The other two are right next to it.
Mm-hmm.
The one that is the one with the little 10 in front of it that hit the other twig isn't up on the tree though. Like the twig thing got in the way. But there you go. So the guy did his job, and now he is standing there waiting for directions. Now it's Raps' turn. Raps doesn't have anything else to throw. So Raps is just going to do what Raps does, which is walk up here, stand between the two of you in harm's way.
Yay.
He has not been ordered to run up and attack the tree because Kwaku does not want him to explode. So there's that. As stated before, it is first turn, so the Twig Blights don't get actions yet. Echo's turn. Echo is going to shimmy up here because she's not going to do a lot of good archery from down there. So 5, 10, 15, 20. Back up to there. And she's gonna... Do something. It's really sad how all of her attacks are flavored as tree attacks. As you do. Yeah, she's going to do something pretty basic. She's going to hunter's mark the tree. As makes sense, given all the circumstances. Take this, you giant tree.
I will be right back.
Okay. Yep, so she has hunter's marked the big old tree. And that's about all she can do for this turn. Actually, no, that's a bonus action. Never mind. Learning. So she's bonus action hunter marked it. Now she's going to shoot an arrow at it because screw this tree. This tree is not her friend. This tree has made her life miserable. So... And...
Oh. Yeah.
And a shoot. And a miss. Somehow she missed a tree. It's because she was sharpshooting. Mistakes are made. There's a lot of stuff in the way.
Does it go good? Does it go wide and hit a needle blight?
No, it doesn't have an area effect, so it doesn't get that fortunate. Just an arrow. Like, if you throw a grenade, I'm going to let it hit something because it's a grenade, but arrows aren't quite as forgiving as that. All right, so that was a nope, and an Anise.
So I'm going to drop concentration on enhance ability and cast Flaming Sphere.
Okay.
I want to target... I'm targeting the tree, but specifically I want to target the area where the oil spilled on the tree.
Okay.
Try and catch fire.
You can do so.
Okay. There. Okay, so I guess I drop the... Do I drop the D20 on the tree, or do I do the effect Flaming Sphere self?
Let me see. How is that programmed in?
It's a concentration thing, and it's up to a minute, which is like 10 rounds,
In
I
an
think.
unoccupied space of your choice within range and lasts for the duration, any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw.
As a bonus action, I can move the sphere. Oh, up to 30 feet. Dang it. I thought it was up to 60.
Well, you
Oh,
can
so
make
range-
it next to the tree and then move it with your bonus action.
That's true. It says range 6. Oh, and I can move it up to 30. Okay.
Yeah, so you cast it with your action,
Okay.
and then you can move it. I will make a token for it.
But do I drop the D20 on the tree, or do I just do effect Flaming Sphere?
I don't think you have to drop any d20 in the tree because it has to do a save, right?
Yeah, it's
So
got
I'll
a
make it roll its save when it has to do that.
C12. I guess I'll cast that. And I'm gonna cast it, yeah, like, I'm exactly 60 feet away from the tree.
Nice.
So I'm gonna cast it close-ish to the tree. Or, I could probably hit a blight with it, and then also hit the...
I mean, when you move it forward, it'll just go through those things, right? Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't stop when it does that. Creature must make a saving throw.
so.
When you move the sphere, you can direct it over barriers, blah, blah, blah. Nice flammable objects. Any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. Bonus, you can move it. If you ram it, they have to make the saving throw against the damage, and it stops moving this turn. So if you run it through one of the twigs, it'll stop there.
Oh, okay. In that case, I'll move it. I'll cast it close to the tree and then ram it into the tree with my bonus action.
That makes sense. All right, I'm going to make you a flaming sphere token.
Woo!
And I'm going to test seeing if I can let you drive it. Because that would be neat. Ah, there it is. Flaming sphere. Just going to drop it there for right now.
Oh, yeah, I can move it.
Cool. Then have at.
I'd say I would have cast it about right there.
Yep, it's an unoccupied space. And then you're moving it
Ram
into
it.
the tree?
Of the tree where the oil spilled.
Oh, good.
Maybe like we're about here, so maybe it'll catch the
Okay.
other bear. Maybe.
Sure. Okay, so in that case,
The tree has to make a dexterity saving throw.
sure does. All right, so tree. Let's make that dexterity saving throw, buddy. I don't like its odds here.
Went a little
You cut
robotic
out.
there?
Yeah, you cut out.
Oh, sorry.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Oh no.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Oh no, scary. All right, tree. Oh, you know the tree doesn't have a lot of dexterity.
I wouldn't imagine.
What with it being a tree?
It pulls up its roots and turns into a giant mech tree and has like 1,000,000 dexterity.
Okay, so what is your spell save DC?
Got kicked out of fantasy grounds.
The spell
Oh, you did
itself
drop.
says DC 12.
Okay.
My spell save DC... That's an excellent question. Is it anywhere on the character sheet?
But like the spell itself says DC 12.
Mhm.
Okay, then we'll just go by that. In which case, it actually did roll a 15. I don't know how that works flavor-wise, but good job, tree. You.
Maybe its bark is just really, really resilient. I don't know.
Well, the thing is, it's gonna take double damage from the fire, so it's gonna even out. Like, I'm not spoiling anything by telling you that fire bad for tree. So first we're gonna roll. Just roll your damage like normal because it's gonna be double effective. So I guess you can target the tree and then roll it if you want to, or I can do it. Okay, so yeah, it took it. That hurt. Now the fun part. So I'm going to treat the exploding oil the same way that I would treat an explosive from the grenades. So we'll just use the same numbers for that.
Maybe I had to roll it? I've got a cast save dex DC 12 thing beside Flaming Sphere.
Oh, it would have done the same thing. It would have forced the
Oh,
save. So like
Gotcha.
that way I wouldn't have to roll it, but we would get the same result. So for the future,
Okay.
you can roll those ones just because it'll be one more thing that you get to own for it. But okay, so yeah, does it had the damage roll? You rolled that. Now we're gonna ignite the oil.
Okay.
So first the oil that's already coating it is just on fire. It doesn't get a save because it's out. So we're gonna roll for let's see, what is the damage on those grenades? Was it 5d6?
I think so.
Yeah, it's 5d6.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Want me to roll that?
Yeah, go for it. Roll 5d6. You're already targeting the tree.
What do you do to make multiple?
Right click.
I thought it was a right.
Yep, while you're holding the d6, there you go. Okay, so I'm going to apply that damage to the tree. That'll be doubled because fire. All right. So that's going to take 26 fire. Cool. And now we're going to make a saving throw for the other one to determine if it explodes or not.
Gotcha.
So I'm just going to roll a d20 for that. It does not pass its saving throw for exploding. So do another one.
Another 5?
Do another 5d6, yeah. How consistent. Also, in the process, you just killed a bunch of needle blights.
Oh, good.
Because they're in the radius of that explosion. So I'm going to... Or twig blights, or whichever one's there. So let me go through these. First of all, so the tree takes another 26 damage. So it's not happy. It's definitely seen better moments than that.
Never thought I'd be lighting a tree on fire on purpose.
I mean,
So
it needs to go.
light that one on fire.
Don't think of it as a tree. Don't remember, the tree's just a bitch.
Never thought I'd be lighting a bitch on fire.
Okay, so I just added enough wounds to kill Twig Blight 3. I need it to recognize that it's dying. Oh wait, I can do this the other way. Hold on. Yeah, Twig Blight 3. Prepare to die. Bah! There we go. Instant death. So that one's dead. Needle Blight 5 was in range of that. And...
There was.
you exceeded its max HP and its negatives.
Oof.
Blah, instant death. So 5 and 3. And from the first one, what is the radius on your grenades? It's 10 feet?
60. 60, I think.
No, that's probably how
Wait,
far you can
hold on.
throw it.
Oh, hold on.
20 feet of an exploding. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry.
No, it's all good. That means I need to... I'm treating these things like grenades for simplicity. So Needle
Gotcha.
Blight 3 and Needle Blight 1 are about to also have a bad day from that explosion.
Does that mean the explosion also can get the other keg of oil? Is it close enough?
Oh my god, it is.
It is, yeah. I'm doing these in order so I don't lose sight of it. I mean, it's what you do.
Roll this tree in one fire explosion.
There's a reason Kiritsugu was effective at killing mages. Modern
Fair.
weapons hurt.
It's like, she's a druid. She knows how to, make trees happy, and I guess she would also know how to make them hurt.
She knows how to make them sad.
But Penelope just like, it's fucking nature, I don't know.
I mean, fire doesn't just make them sad. It also kind of makes them in pain and dying.
I mean...
There you go. So those are all dead. Now the other keg gets to make its saving throw. It also does not pass a grenade going off next to its saving throw. So do another 5d6 because it is in range of the trunk. Ooh, that's gonna be bad for it. Okay. Yikes! You've already done over 100 damage to this tree.
Wow. I'm glad we explored and found the oil.
Hey,
Yeah,
And I'm
damn.
glad,
that's what it's
I'm
there
glad
for.
I'm glad that Raps threw it too hard and exploded it on the tree.
Yeah, admittedly, if they'd all stayed contained like that, this would have been harder. Okay, so yeah, that all happened. I think that covers your move and your bonus and your standard, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you've killed a whole bunch of things.
I like to move back, but I'm fine here.
Okay, so now the tree's gonna do something.
Oh no.
It's got legendary actions.
Ah.
No. Not allowed.
Okay, so first up... Oh, this is funny. I'm actually going to roll to see which one it does. I know that theoretically I should be more strategic with it, but it's a tree, so I don't want to pretend it's that smart. When you're going up against actual mages, there will be strategy. When you're going up against a tree that's reacting to exploding, I'm letting it react for chance. Oh, this is funny. Okay, so I'm going to read to you what this ability is called, just for meta, so that you know. Bitter Harvest. The child of Ainnash attempts to draw mana from the leylines, regaining 2d10 HP for each ley line it can draw on. It has no ley lines to draw on, so it gets nothing.
Having a good time there, child of Ainnash?
It could have regained a potential 60 HP out of that. It gets nothing. I appreciate that.
It was worth going into the haunted woods.
It's true.
Yeah.
It would have gained potentially like an average of 10 to 11 HP from that. So nice.
Like, at
Um,
the end of the day, it wasn't so bad. Would have been worse.
you had to deal with all that exposition. Okay. So that was its first legendary action. It can't do another one yet. It is now Kwaku's turn.
Yeah.
Kwaku is like, oh, well, that's something. He is going to... He's going to join the group, first of all, because being down here by himself feels dangerous. And he can't actually see what's going on. He just hears explosions.
He just gets to the top of the stairs. The tree's on fire.
I heard
Oh my, that is a thing. Okay. Also, there's a bunch of plant things. I don't like that.
Yeah, but most of them are dead. It's fine.
I don't really want those to get too close.
dead or dying. There's a couple of healthy ones.
They'll die.
There's 2 healthy ones.
There you go.
Wow.
Alright, so what he's going to do is he's going to throw down a web on the remaining plants before they can get close.
Gonna throw down.
20-foot cube.
Him and not Anise, who doesn't know anything about Spider-Man, is picturing him slinging webs out of his wrists.
Yep.
I mean, that is more fun. Alright, let's toss a web in there. Do.
Man, look at him just do all kinds of stuff on this battlefield.
Alright, so there we go. He's webbed up those 2. Neat. Okay, so he's gone, and now the tree is gonna go again. Because the tree's still got more legendary actions. And also the tree is not where it wants to be right now, but it's a tree, so it can't make like a leaf and get out of here.
On the one hand, we can't knock it prone. On the other hand, it can't
It's
leave.
kind of built in prone in a weird way.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to...
Yeah, Flaming Spear was the right call instead of the Flaming Sword.
Yeah, you probably don't want to get too close to it. Speaking of which, it's going to lash out with a branch.
No, it's branching out.
And so it's going to swing its branch over towards the closest target, which from here would be Raps.
No!
So it's going to target Raps.
Not allowed to hurt rats. Forbidden.
I think I have any reaction.
All right. It's the target. And let's see how effective a tree is at hitting somebody. That is a hit.
No.
And, alright, so the tree, like, covered in fire now, by the way. Like, this flaming red blood-leafed tree swings a massive branch down, trying to swat at you like bugs. And it manages to crash into Raps, who, you know, knew what this was, got in the way so that it wasn't hitting any of you. And it thwacks him. Alright, and Raps takes 14 damage.
No.
Oof. And now it's going to try to grab him. Alright.
Rip to Raps is 69 HP. HP.
Alas.
Hey.
Alright.
Alas.
Raps is now grappled by the tree.
No.
It has grabbed him
Rude.
and starts to pull him away from you.
No. Arm. Still no.
Now Raps is dangerously close to that fire.
Oh no. And he's made of silk.
It's true. Alright.
Wait. Silk flame resistant?
If it's wet. Alright, so the needle blights, as noted, are dead. So, actually, that one's not dead, but it can't go yet, because I wasn't going to let them act on the turn they respond. That gets stupid. Alright, so Needle Blight 4 is unconscious. Good job, buddy. Enjoy that. Tree turn. Alright, the tree is going to force Raps to make a Constitution save. What you got there, buddy? Alright, Raps totally passed it. Good job, Raps. Actually, let's see, so... Yep, Raps passed it, so Raps is not drained of mana, which is good, because he needs that to live. So there's that, and then the tree is going to swing another branch. And at this point, it's going to be swinging at the other big dumb target. Its threat assessment is very simple. It's going for the heaviest things. It doesn't see the rest of you as threats, apparently. All right. Stop targeting Raps. How dare you? No, don't target yourself. Stupid tree. I know it doesn't surprise you that a tree is dumb. Alright. Now it has its target. And it's gonna swing a branch. And it's gonna hit it. And it's gonna hurt it. 19 damage to the large angry stone man. And it's gonna try to grapple it. Ooh, and it nat 20's on grappling it. It absolutely grapples it. Wraps around the big guy and just pulls him up in close to. Mrr. Okay. So those were its adventurous turn. It has stolen both of your golems. Now it is Anis's turn.
Hello?
Hooray, are we back?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, we noticed you rolling dice, but
Oh,
like the call was ended, so I'm just like,
It's like, oh god, does he know?
did the
I
truth
didn't
is
know
that-
until I saw your message. I'm like,
Yeah.
I said it
Which
was
one?
Anis's turn and heard nothing, and I'm like, are you that shocked that they stole both of your golems?
Yeah, wait, which message did you see? The Discord message or the message in Fantasy Girl?
Discord I didn't see at all. I had to like close it.
Weird.
I saw the Fantasy Grounds message and then I'm like, oh, well, let's just fix that. So I don't know how much of what I just said you heard, but
Nothing.
Okay.
Like I noticed that both golems are grappled.
Yeah, so the tree is targeting what it sees as the biggest threats, which at present are the two heaviest things, because that's how it sees.
There.
And so it has now grabbed both of your golems and pulled them in close to itself and up all on that fireball that you sent at it.
Ew.
I'm gonna assume since we can't heal Raps, we also can't heal the large angry stone man.
Presumably, based on your understanding of golems, yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's possible that maybe someone who knows how to restore these things could, but Kwaku told you that Raps is pretty much, in mint condition and once out of box can only go down in value. So,
Okay.
admittedly, Silk Golem is probably more fragile than Stone Golem.
Yeah. And then the limbs that it used to grapple, how are they like thick?
They're pretty thick, but they move suspiciously fast once they finally did move. Like, it's actually pulled them over with it pulled those roots out of the ground at the beginning, and it kind of used the roots to grab at them, and then the limbs reached in and sort of like handed them off. So they're over there, and they're both about 5 feet off the ground. They're pretty heavy, so it's not like it's just like way up in the sky, but
Right. I'm wondering if I could maybe use the flaming sphere to chop the limb.
you could try. You could target the limb that's holding one of them if you want.
Or I could just ram it into the tree.
Wait, actually, it was supposed to roll for fire damage at the start of a turn, wasn't it?
I think so.
That's how
yeah.
that works,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I believe so. Let me double check, but I'm pretty sure if it starts, yeah.
I think that's how that
Any
works.
creature that ends its turn within 5 feet.
Oh,
of the
well, it
sphere
just
must
ended
be-
its turn within 5 feet. You haven't moved it, so go for it. It's got a dexterity saving throw time. All
I
right.
guess I can do that.
Yep, you should be able to make it do it. Whoosh. It rolled a 3.
Oh dear. So
All
it
right.
takes more damage.
It takes the full damage of it, as opposed to half. Whoosh. It is vulnerable. It took even more damage than that. All right, so yeah, poof. It is burning.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just I'll use the bonus action to ram the sphere into it again. So
It's like
I
pull
guess
it
it
back
takes
and
more
bump
damage?
into it again.
yeah, like pull it back and throw it into the trunk as hard as possible. That more another 2d6 fire.
Let's see. You can move the sphere up to 30 feet. If you ram the sphere into a creature, that creature must make the saving throw. I don't see anything saying that it can't. So yeah, you can move it off and then bash it back into it.
Do I do the dexterity saving?
Yeah,
throw
it'll have to
again?
do the saving throw every time you do that, but... Okay, that time it nat 20 to success, so it should only take half
Okay,
damage.
cool. So it only takes half?
For the
So
next
it'll
one,
only
yeah.
take what I roll, basically.
It'll pretty much just be what you roll. So it's going to say that
Woo.
it automatically did it. Nice. Good job, game.
Cool.
Half and vulnerable. So yeah, it's taken some damage.
That one bonus. Well, I don't want to get close to it. So the golems are about 5 feet off the ground, you said.
Yeah, about 5 feet up.
Hmm.
So like if you were to be bold and try to like throw an attack under them, you could. Or you could aim at any other part of the tree. It's pretty big.
Okay, so I can, and we don't, Blight 5 is dead, right? I'm gonna move
Yeah.
under where Raps is and kind of try and chop with my halberd, try and free him. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, you could do that. Just roll an attack roll
At the tree,
at the tree, yeah. And I'll make the tree do it. Assuming you hit it, I'll make the tree try to do a save to see if it holds on.
Somehow I feel like it didn't work.
No, you swung at it, but it was hard to get really good leverage on it, given it's so high up off the ground. You just couldn't really slam it.
Cool. Well, against my better judgments, what is my I think it is 30, but let me... Yep, so I kind of have to end my turn there.
All right. Before Echo goes, the tree is going to legendary action. It's going to try to hit you with wraps.
Ugh. Oh no. That's the end of Anise.
All right.
Time to get her sister Vanice.
Janice.
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 Yeah.
All right. And admittedly, it is not proficient with wraps. So I'm going to... If the roll gets really close, I'm going to cancel it because it's harder to hit something like that than just swing its branches like normal. But for starters, let's see what it rolls. Okay, so
That hits.
that'll hit you even with the proficiency bonus of a tree taken away. All right. This is probably going to hurt. Bonk. Okay, so you got knocked out.
Did I just die?
You didn't die. You're
Okay.
going to be doing saving throws or get healed. But your flaming sphere winks out because you just got knocked out. I mean, it did hit you with a giant golem.
Oh, okay. I guess it let me have 2 concentration things because of the strength thing.
I think it just forgot to expire. Yeah, I'll have to police that in the future because apparently it didn't auto-expire the other one for some reason. Okay, so you got knocked out. It swung your good friend Raps up and then slammed it Raps down on you like a hammer. And you're like,
Did
oh.
it perhaps knock me back?
So when it did that, it actually lost its grip on Raps, who
Oh, good.
was... I'm just going to move you back a little bit so that you're not in the same square as Raps, but Raps is now on you prone. But Raps is free. Raps is no longer grappled, so that's cool.
I knew that wasn't a good idea, but...
All right, I'm going to undo the grapple status on Raps. You succeeded at your ultimate goal of
True.
freeing Raps of being grappled. So that's cool. But we're going to drop prone onto Raps. Okay. All right, up next, we've got Twig Blight 1. Which one are you?
Must be one of the ones.
Oh, it's one of the ones in the web. Yeah. That's funny. It's going to try to get out. But can it, is the question. I think it has to make a save. This is one of those things where I'm trying to remember the different editions. So, starts there, must make a dexterity saving throw, or it's stuck. Okay, buddy. Let's see how this works for you. Nope. It is not the hero it wants to be. It is stuck in that web. Well, that was a fun turn for you, Needle Blight. You are restrained. Cool. Take that, Needle Blight. It's Penelope's turn.
No, it's Kwaku's turn.
Oh, you're right. It is Kwaku's turn. Oh, I added the restrain to Needle Blight 1 instead of Twig Blight 1. That's why I got mixed up. Whatever. It's dead. It can be restrained and dead. Okay. Now the proper one is restrained. All right, so yeah, it's Kwaku's turn, and Kwaku is not a healer. All right, well, he's not a big fan of what just happened there. So he is going to chuck some daggers at a tree. Sure. All right, tree, eat daggers. Okay, so he's casting it. A bunch of daggers are going to pop up right next to the tree and start whacking at it, but it won't matter until the next turn. But when we get there... Kwaku, who has 1 attack spell. 2 if you
Unless
count the
have
ice
any
knife.
healing magic.
Oh, I do.
Okay, good. I was about
Sorry,
to say.
I'm just like...
In my other game, I'm the one healer, the only person that knows any healing magic, and I got knocked out like this too.
Oh, that's
It's just very
terrifying.
funny. It's funny that that's happened twice.
Oh, no.
All right. Daggers
My
on the
crew
tree.
had to literally
Thwack.
steal one of my healing potions and use it on me.
Okay, so that was Kwaku's turn. Up next is Dead Needle Blight.
It continues to be dead.
Still dead and restrained, apparently.
It's just like
Now it's Penelope's turn.
Okay, Penelope is freaking the fuck out. So she's going to cast Healing Word at 2nd level. Hold up. I'm reading. Reading is hard. It's range 60 feet, so that means she just has to be within 60 feet of where Penelope is, right?
Yep.
Okay.
You can cast it from there.
yeah, you already are within 50 feet.
Penelope is just gonna yell out, "Don't you die on me!" And is gonna... where's Anna? There she is. Let me cast it. Anna. I don't want it to die!
The tree grabs Raps again and smacks me again.
Go on.
That's a
Hey.
good roll.
Yeah.
That's a very, very spicy healing word there.
Hey,
Okay.
it's twice you need the bone.
All right, so
What
I need to mark you as prone, but no longer dying. Acceptable condition?
Yeah. Raps is like still on me, right? Basically.
Effectively. Like, you're not in the same square, but Raps is still between you and danger. So. Alright, so that was your bonus action. What would you like to do for your normal action?
Oh, that was a bonus action?
Healing word is.
Healing
yeah.
Word is the
Oh.
best heal spell. Cure Wounds is
Oh.
so much worse than Healing Word.
Yeah, you have to like be able to touch the person, and it's an action. It
Yeah,
does usually restore more, but
yeah. Healing Word is not nearly as good as... Or, Cure is not nearly as good.
Okay,
yeah, I'm regretting bringing cure instead of healing.
I mean, Cure is... It scales when you have higher level spell slots, but when you're small, eh.
So, I don't know if there's anything I can actually do. If I throw a grenade, that's not gonna end well.
Oh yeah, it'll probably damage.
It'll undo everything I just
You
did.
could probably try and throw it at the 2 that are in the web, but
I mean, a grenade would kill Anise.
Yeah,
It would do enough overflow damage to probably kill you.
If
you don't have like vicious mockery or anything.
Dude, that
You could mock the tree.
hit my trees in within 60 feet.
Yep.
Is
Oh
Vicious
my
Mockery an
God.
action or a bonus action?
It
Should
is
be an
action.
action.
Oh, well, go for it.
God. I'm gonna mock a tree.
All right, what smack talk are you going to give that tree?
I'm waiting with bated breath.
I've heard you talking a lot of smack about this tree on the internet, so I think you got something.
Oi, tree! You're
Oi,
ugly.
tree!
You're ugly, and all of your children are ugly. You're a bitch.
It's gonna be like, alright, I'm gonna need you to make like a tree and stop killing my friends!
All right.
Just like, that doesn't make sense.
If I even had an actual pun, it probably would have killed you.
I mean,
Okay.
it didn't pass, so you can hurt it.
If this kills it, I will...
No.
No.
It's
But it
not
is
looking
more-
great.
Damage is damage is damage.
I mean, it's about hitting a total.
If that had killed it, I don't know if I could have lived with myself.
Okay,
Like,
so does that about wrap things up for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so the tree is going to jump in line again,
Oh no.
like a jerk. And
Rude.
let's see here. The tree is going to do. The tree is not happy. So the tree's roots are going to actually, those ones that it pulled up before, are going to go right back into the ground. And they're going to go straight down and deep. And you're going to actually feel the ground around you shaking. It's shaking everything, really. Like, you've got, it feels like a minor localized earthquake. So everyone who is not already prone gets to make a dexterity saving throw.
Funny as I almost brought like called Earth Tremor.
So I'm going to make it do that. Or you can roll your own, yeah. Okay, you pass it, so you're good.
Hooray.
You were still up. I'm going to make it target the rest of these people with that.
Can it shake so violently that it actually like throws me to my feet?
That would be
No.
funny.
It would be funny, but I don't expect it.
Not Anise loose.
Right, so it's targeting Echo and Kwaku, and you already rolled Penelope's, and oddly enough, that's it, because everything else is either prone or grappled. So, yeah. Make them roll that. Doot. Okay, so Echo falls down, but Kwaku's okay.
Those old lady bones.
Look, she wasn't expecting this today either. And when she falls, she takes some damage. Ow.
Aw.
Alas. All right, and it's going to continue to, shake at the ground angrily like that. And now we're back to Needleblight 2, who is, I believe, stuck in a web. No, that's Twigblight 2. Is Needleblight 2 even alive? No, it blew up in that grenade a while ago. Why are you still pretending to be alive? Get off this combat tracker. You're dead to me.
Needleblight 2's... No, the one you just threw away was Needleblight 2.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, that one, it should have been blown up in that grenade earlier. So, I don't know what's going on with that. I'm going to take some other damage and kill it with that. It's more fun that way. The important thing is that it's dead. Scroll way back up to those grenades.
Lights have to make saving throws to not be knocked prone.
Well,
No, they don't. They're special.
or-
That would be really funny if that killed them, though, because they have so little HP, if it just killed all of its own blights.
the two in the web I'm seeing are Twigblight 2 and Twigblight 1.
Yeah.
I
Needleblight 2 was
Needleblight-
one of the ones that you grenaded earlier, and it just wasn't marked as dead for some reason. Twigblight 2 is now here.
It took a while for it to
Yeah.
realize it was
All right, so a lot of those things are dead.
God, the bird. I forgot about the bird.
Hey, the bird does show up. Seeing, its friend get smashed with a golem, the bird swoops down right at the tree, and it drops the doll on it.
Doing no damage because it's a dog.
Doing no damage because it's a doll. But it does this side effect. Rah! A new thing has been added to the combat tracker.
Oh no! I forgot about the ghost!
I didn't.
The shade thing.
Where is he?
I don't know. I
Guess
just
we
saw
don't-
it pop up in the combat.
Yeah, I
tracker.
guess we don't see him.
Well, when the doll pops down, something rushes out from under the tree at the bottom, like the ruins of the other tree. And,
Oh.
and it's immediately running up and attacking that tree to get its doll back.
Oh yeah, see it like just barely in that corner. Like,
So I'm going to move its initiative down to the bird's initiative where it belongs. Wasn't supposed to auto-roll that. And it's going to make a roll. Because it's angry. And this tree, which is holding on to all this crap, is holding that doll that it cares about. The stupid bird has been trolling it for like 3 hours. Alright, it is now targeting a tree. And it is attacking a tree. And it is hitting a tree. Actually going to be really funny. I'm checking those numbers. Yeah.
I'm glad she likes her new box.
Alright, hit that tree. You angry, angry ghost thing. Ooh! That is brutal. Just rolled a 5 and a 6
Ooh,
on D6s.
very angry.
Yep, it has now hit that thing. It then grabs its doll, and it runs away. It did what it came here to do. And then it vanished.
bye, buddy.
Okay. Good job, bird.
So technically, the bird did 15 damage.
It's true. The bird is hitting way over its weight class as a summoner, apparently. Okay, so the big tree is restrained, or the big tree, the big stone guy is restrained. He's going to try to bust out. Let's try to get out of that grapple. Oh, he does not. Sorry, big dude, you are still tied to a tree. The needle blight is still dead. The twig blight is still dead. Raps' turn. Yay. Raps is going to pick up Anise and run. Going to get you guys out of there.
I do not resist.
So he's going to make a run with you. The tree is going to swing at Raps. Which Raps is acceptable. Raps is our friend. But it's not going to get to grapple at him. It's just going to get to hit him. Because it thankfully does not grapple on attack of opportunity. That would be terrible. And a swing. Why are you rolling that with advantage? He's not grappled anymore. You don't have to do that. Whatever, both of those hit. Oh, Raps is taking some more hits here.
No.
But he did successfully get you out of harm's way. Alright. So that was a Raps turn. Then after Raps, the tree is going to spread pollen.
Oh, damn it.
Like a jerk.
I'm so tired of pollen.
Almost brought lesser restoration.
Whoa, what did that do?
Oh, Raps just targeted everybody.
Which is
Oh,
funny,
no.
because I forgot how to do that. Yeah, stop it, Raps. Just chill.
Raps is ready to square up.
He's just like, "Arr."
Raps is like, bring it. Alright, let's...
Raps targets all the twig needles.
Raps has had enough of this. Okay, so we're gonna... We'll do this.
It's got so many targets.
There's now pollen everywhere. In practice, range attacks will have disadvantage. Pretend that's yellow. I'm not messing with the colors right now. So that's what the tree did there.
Weird pollen.
It is not forcing you to make any saves, thankfully.
It's a helpful reminder that I need to take my allergy medicine after this, or after we're done.
Thanks, tree.
It's a weird red tree. It can have white pollen.
I'm probably allergic to this tree too. Who knows?
I mean, it's a vampire tree, so it's
You
probably
know?
not good for you.
No.
All right, Echo's going to try to arrow at this thing again because it has angered her in all of its ways. And watcha! Hey, she hit it.
Woo!
Ooh, she really hit it.
Ooh.
Nice. Okay, so yeah, that arrow thwacked right into it. So yeah, she pulls back. This time she takes a second. She straightens her aim, and she shoots the arrow, and it flies right between the twig blights and directly into the side of that tree. Thwack. Cool. Needle Blight 1 is still restrained.
And dead.
And dead. Needle Blight 2 is still dead. It's Raps' turn again. Raps is going to have fun holding everything targeted, apparently. Raps is just going to take a defensive posture. Can't really see anything over there. Not that it really sees anyway. And it's just sort of puts up its arms to block for you.
Dead.
Dead. Dead. Penelope time.
Woo! Okay. First, gonna look at Anise and be like, seriously, you're not allowed to die. I can't speak German. That's gonna cast healing word, but like at first though.
Okay.
Hold on. For that, what is... Boom. It's a little bit. Hey.
I'm almost back up to my max.
Yeah. Low levels are fun. Okay, so that's your bonus.
Yeah.
Anise is feeling suspiciously better all of a sudden. Like, maybe it's really nice when other people can heal. You've not really experienced this since you were a child.
And then she's gonna chuck a grenade. Well, she's not gonna chuck a grenade yet. She's gonna move a little closer.
Just as a reminder, there's a thick cloud of pollen between you and your tree.
That's true. Oh god.
Oh, did I
I'm
do the
apparent-
locking thing?
Yeah.
None of that
I
now.
mean, probably still be able to see the tree even through
I mean, the tree
pollen.
is huge. I wouldn't be too worried about not hitting the tree at this point. Technically, your golem buddy is still in there, but everyone else is out here.
Gonna move forward like one step. Just to keep
Okay.
a little bit of this. Damn it. Okay, sorry. I've got to like find the windows. Okay. Grenade. At tree.
Well, dang.
Boom.
Ooh!
Okay.
Oh, and it's a critical hit.
Ooh!
That is a critical. Because you're throwing it in this, you've got to roll it again, unfortunately. But,
Oh, you have disadvantage?
yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Upset now. I'm very upset now.
I mean, you're still going to hit the tree. Just letting you know that. It's just not a critical.
Okay.
You can't miss the tree at this point.
Well, it says miss.
Yeah, that's because I didn't program it specifically for but grenades, though. So
Okay.
it's going to be within your cone.
Okay.
Your main roll with grenades is do I accidentally drop it?
Okay, cool.
So you can target the tree and roll some damage.
Damage.
Boom! What does your grenade do to it?
Oh, it's dead. Oh, it's just gonna fucking blow a hole in the tree
Okay.
and just splinter the bejesus out of it.
Okay, so this tree with its roots sticking into the ground and shaking the world around it.
Also catch on fire,
It's already on fire.
more on fire.
Technically.
Yeah, this
Both.
burning tree. This burning tree, this mist all over of pollen everywhere. You just sort of have to close your eyes and just chuck it straight ahead. And you hear the explosion. And the fun thing about explosions is that there's a pressure differential. And all of this pollen goes blasting past you. And once it clears and you can open your eyes again, you can see a giant hole blown out of the trunk of this tree where all the fire and the oil and everything were before. And the core of this tree is just blasted out. And like while the tree hasn't fallen, it's you can just get the sense of looking at it that this thing is done. Its branches are all drooping. It drops the big golem, which just crashes to the ground. All the little twig blights that are still alive over there in the web are like screaming and then they collapse themselves. Whatever was animating them is gone. The tree, it slumps. Its branches that are stuck off in the outer area sort of swoop. They just sort of fall, like they're no longer stuck in the sidewalls. They just sort of droop down. And in doing so, they kind of fan away all the pollen. So it just whoops off to the sides and sticks to the walls. But it is no longer blinding you. So that's good. Away with you, pollen. And yeah, through all of that, the tree appears to be dead. The red in it starts to drain away almost immediately. It's almost like the tree's bleeding, but it's not actually blood. It's just drooping away. So you did it. You blew up a tree.
Hey guys, I think the tree's dead.
Good.
Yes. Only took 2 grenades, 3 huge casks of oil, and I almost died.
But you're not dead now.
I think
Not
it...
allowed to die before we leave this.
I guess, would I need to roll anything to make sure the tree's dead?
You want to go up and inspect it? Go for it. Oh, also your bird is here. It landed.
Cautiously go up and inspect it.
Okay.
If anything moves, I'm going to immediately step back.
That's fair. Tree autopsy time.
Nature?
Yeah, that would be nature for this. It's the medicine of trees. Okay, so your nature check on this, if this were a normal tree, definitely be dead. This is an abnormal tree. You're still pretty sure it's dead. Like,
Cool.
there are parts of it that are probably less wrecked than others, and you might even be able to salvage those for use in other purposes, should you desire to. But the main core of this tree is completely blasted through. You could count the rings of suffering on this thing. In fact, while you're doing that, you notice something below the hole that was blown out of it. So if you recall from before, these trees were known, like the original one, the Ainnash, like the big dead apostle tree, is known for having some kind of fruit that is highly sought after, and that all of the spawn of it are not fruit bearers. But this one actually has something else. What this one has is... let's share a picture. This thing sticking through the bottom of it. It's a very strange looking root. It looks kind of like a vegetable. It's swollen in the middle. And you can tell just from looking at it that this thing is not normal. It's actually slightly glowing. And as you are close to it, you feel a little bit of warmth coming out of it.
Hmm.
It sort of feels like when you were channeling mana through the ley lines. Like just maybe if someone were to actually take that mana and put it into something, it might feel like this.
Do I get the sense that it's dangerous?
Um,
Poisonous or anything?
it doesn't feel volatile. Like, it's not like you're handling a grenade. It's more just a matter of, like, you've never felt this much mana in one place before. Like, it's swollen with mana.
And it's kind of, is it like wedged in under the tree?
Well, at one point, you get the impression that it was hanging on the inside of this, like it was growing almost like the inside of a gourd.
Oh.
But someone threw a grenade at it and blasted all that out of the way. So you could really just reach in and pull the thing out with minimal effort, should you desire.
I will take an extra shirt out of my pack and pull it and not actually like touch it with my hands, but like kind of wrap the shirt around it and pull it out.
Okay. You do so. I will add it to your inventory.
Oh, I guess walk it over to Kwaku and Echo. Be like, this was inside the tree. Do we want to try and look at it, identify it?
Okay, so Kwaku's going to take a look at it first because this is more his deal. He's going to roll a thing. Ooh, look at you rolling a 19. All right, cool. So Kwaku's going to take a long look at it, and then he's going to sort of mumble a bit and go, okay, so this has tremendous quantities of mana in it. I would wager that the tree was growing this.
About what I thought.
I don't know if this is normal for them, but there's a very good chance that this thing could do a lot. It could be used in any number of rituals that could draw on it. It could power a golem almost forever, honestly. Obviously, the tree was drawing in the mana from this land. Like, this is most of the mana that was pulled out of the soil here. I wouldn't even know how to leverage it, but I would wager that this is probably one of the most valuable things in the hands of a dangerous or ambitious mage you could see. By itself, though, it's like holding a battery. So it should be fine. I wouldn't recommend, breaking it open, but...
I wonder what would happen if I did.
I mean, I have rules for what happens if you did, but it's up to you if you want to see.
Yeah, I don't know what would happen. Probably with that 8. I don't want this to fall into the wrong hands for sure. It is definitely powerful. I don't have much use for it myself. I don't.
Echo's just sort of staring at all of this, and then she sort of chimes in. Well, if you've restored the ley lines, the land will recover. So I'm not terribly worried about the long-term safety of this region now. Perhaps that's something that could be put to good use, though. The world is depressingly low on mana. I just wouldn't know what to do with it myself.
I'm trying to think of maybe if there's a role I could make to think of, like, my tribe to use it in a way. Oh, Kwaku, do you have any use for it?
Oh, well, I'm sure I could come up with something. Like, at the very least, I could make a powerful golem, but I don't think that's really the best use of it. Maybe just hang on to it for now and don't advertise you have it. Like, at minimum, you could use it to win the favor of a very powerful mage if you trusted one with it. It's also possible that it could be useful in any number of rituals.
We all work together to defeat the tree, so I don't know if I should be... I mean, I will take it and I will safeguard it and I will try and find a use for it, but we all worked together here. I mean, I did do a lot of damage with my one fireball, but...
Well, perhaps for now, hang on to it. It's probably safest in the hands of a druid. And maybe we can discuss that after we sort out the mess of this castle.
I will fold it up, the shirt, and then tuck it in my bag.
Then once again, Anise walks away with the toys we've been to.
Her ways are known.
First it's beer steins, next giant tree batteries.
Do I get the sense that I could harvest anything else from this tree? Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This thing is full of, essentially it's enchanted wood.
what
Specific.
about like the leaves? Or would they be useful?
The leaves are rapidly drying out.
Gotcha.
So they're sort of crisping away. But
So really the wood.
but yeah, so the wood itself is, like, you would know just as a druid. This is imbued wood, which means that it's had sufficient mana of a given type flowing through it that it could be used in crafting to specifically favor things. In the case of this one, it's not a huge leap to realize that it's imbued with necrotic mana. So this would be of great value to people that use necromancy, either as
Oh,
a necromancer or just spells that qualify as necromancy, which aren't just raise zombies and stuff. Like, it's everything
like our
from
friend
restoring,
Hermit
Crosby.
yeah, like, I'm sure he would love it. So there's definitely that, but there's also just a variety of other functions. Like, necromancy governs all sorts of things involving ghosts and, the dead. At the very least, with all of the tree here, you could probably make a few wands without too much trouble. It's also one of those things that, like, this entire thing is a freakish anomaly, so it's quite possible that even among people that wouldn't use it for that purpose, they would just want to study it. It's not often that people get a sample of a child of Ainnash, let alone one that's as relatively intact as this one is, give or take the core. Usually they starve out and shrivel away. This one is intact. It was just blown up. As weird a balance as that is.
I'll take as many small pieces of it as I can put in my bag. Wrap them up too so they don't contaminate stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's not like the stuff is oozing with evil or anything. It is what it is. It's a stick. It's just a stick with a history.
Well, I know what Anise would want to do next, but it's also midnight.
Yeah, we're not going to do more, but if you want to note so that I can pull some things together, we certainly can. So what do you think the two of you are going to want to do? Because, like, I'll just tell you, for your NPCs, the next thing that's going to be on Echo's mind is going to be checking out the body of the golem behind the tree and trying to get the castle back in order.
Anise wants to go to where that laboratory was that she saw in her weird vision dream journey.
I don't know. Didn't Echo mention that there was a phone in the castle?
She did. She mentioned that there was a phone, a working landline.
Okay, then Penelope would probably want to try and get access to that phone.
That makes sense. Okay, so sounds like the next session we will get to go castle exploring.
Woo!
Which is fun because I have a lot of castle.
Yeah.
So much castle. Like, you actually explored the most boring part, thankfully. Like, the front is like, here's some beds. They have no special significance. The actual main castle is far more interesting, I promise. It is also the net result of me pouring through everything that exists on the Einsburn castle. There's a lot.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh.
awesome. You did it, though. You killed a tree.
Yay!
And on top of all of your adventure from killing a tree, I can tell you that you have leveled up. You get to be level 4 now,
Woo!
which means you get a feat or ability score increase if you take a level in the same class. Otherwise, you could do a new class.
This early?
Level 4.
I didn't know you could multi-class it.
You can multi-class as soon as you feel like it. As long as you meet the ability score requirements, you can multi-class.
Oh.
A lot of people wait because they want to get their stats up first.
Mm-hmm.
But you could, like, for instance, some people who play like sorcerer warlocks will just do a few levels in warlock and then go all sorcerer, or like a level or two in fighter and then all into monk or whatever. It really just depends, but
Cool.
yeah.
I already know what I'm...
Probably just gonna take the ability score. And like, there are plenty of cool feats, but
Yeah, it's all valid. Like, if you do see feats that you think are interesting and they're in one of the other books that I don't have, let me know. I will happily code them in. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with taking an ability score increase. Numbers matter a lot.
Cool.
guess we can deal with that next week too.
Yeah, you got time. Like, if you want, like before, what I'll do is I'll just leave the thing on. And then next time when we start, we can do the actual like character sheet updating. Or you can just tell me what you want to do in advance and I'll do them in advance. But it's good times. You killed a tree.
Yay.
And no one died.
This. Dun, dun.
Also, just for fun meta information, the tree was so low on health, if you had taunted it at the end instead of throwing a grenade, you might have been able to kill it.
Yeah.
It would have been possible.
I feel better that I feel better knowing that Penelope does not have a grenade.
Oh yeah, she did use up all of her grenades.
All of her fragment grenades.
That's true. There are still grenades in the party inventory.
Oh dear.
You've got smoke grenades.
Well, there's still 3 like regular grenades in there too.
Oh, well then, yeah, you got that. I actually rolled to see how many of those you would find, and like the fragment grenade number was way higher than it should have been. It was funny. It was like, yeah, roll 2d4, and it's like 6. I'm like, well, okay.
The 3 grenades are definitely still in my inventory, so...
Excellent.
Anise chooses to not think about that.
Yeah, I'll program, now that they're on your sheet, I'll program them in as ammo so that they'll tick off as you use them.
Okay.
But, yeah. Cool, so we did it. Yay, everybody. We've accomplished the first campaign goal.
Hooray!
Go team. Now
And
everybody
we got the 2 lanterns.
get some sleep. It's late. Everybody got to work tomorrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks, everybody. See you later.
And thanks for a fun game.
Goodbye, stream.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah.